Hey everybody, this is Strat. I want to give an announcement. The YouTuber I finished a video game is fighting cancer at the moment, and he just released a new video. I want to give him a shout out here in my video, and I was wondering if I have any other YouTubers who watch me, if they can use their platform to also promote him, because he's going to be going through cancer treatment, and as we all know, that could be a very time-consuming process, a very expensive process. So it'd be nice if his channel could sustain itself while his output is going to be, as you can imagine, pretty low while he's going through treatment. So if you can do that, that would be great. I'm going to post a pinned comment down here below, and if you do give him a shout out, make sure you post a comment in that pinned comment and put the link to it in there, and we'll try to like crowdsource more traffic for his channel. It's a good thing to do, and I hope that you guys participate. Anyway, love you. Let's get on with this video. Baldur's Gate 3 is a gay lizard wizard simulator and is the first game in the history of games that is actually more fun when you're bi. There's a diverse cast of characters that freak out that one uncle you have that watches too much cable news, including DEI hire, strong independent female, that chick that always records herself in the gym, guy that wants to suck you off, guy who will eat your pants, a muscle mommy, and the only romanceable character in the game, a slimy tentacle monster. But what is this game about? It's about how everyone wants cool powers until your face looks like the varicose veins in your aunt's thigh. It's about racism.
Quite frankly, the illithid are not sending their best.
And how cool it is when it's against dudes with facial deformities.
Then you have ceased to exist, and a is born.
What did you say?
And most of all, it's about family. Family like your sister, a doppelganger who makes clothes out of people's skin, and your dad, the literal god of murder, and your mom. Well, she's like mayo. She spreads easy. Will Eric Draven be able to fight against the pull of the god of murder and resist tearing the limbs off of everything he sees? No, he won't. Will it be fun? Go to my Patreon and give me some money, or I will come to your house and fuck your cat and your mom. I like 'em big. I'll do even worse to your Mimo people, especially your Mimo. So don't you piss me off, or I will bust a cap inside your ass. Do it, bitch. I'm crazy. If you don't wanna die, I suggest you give me all your cash, bitch.
My rancid blood whispers to me, kill, kill, and kill again. I must resist the dark urge, lest it consume my mind.
The Dark Urge is a background just like all the other pre-mades. Each pre-made has a goal that they're trying to achieve, a secret past, and an ending to their quests made specifically for them. Certain events throughout the game will actually play out differently for each character as well, depending on the circumstances. So the only reason to play the Dark Urge is to either play an evil character or to try and resist the Dark Urge, as it says in the background intro. You also play this background if you want to recreate your character from part 1 and part 2 of Baldur's Gate, as this background has the most, hands down, in common with the main character from those games. The thing is, the Dark Urge doesn't come with many moments of you having to resist anything, at least in the beginning, so much as having to simply avoid the wrong choices. You'll get dialogue options which are obviously going to lead you to doing something horrible, and most of the time you could just avoid picking that option. You've got nothing to worry about. It's also a confounding option to pick, because unless you're going to indulge the urge, you'll be missing out on some of the best unique gear and features in the game. It's in the final act where all eyes are on you now, and the background really comes into its own. So if you spend the entire time resisting the urge, you are, in a way, actively fighting against one of the things that makes that background unique. In my experience, It wasn't fun to play the Dark Urge as a good guy until somewhere around the middle of Act 1, because it almost ended up just feeling like I was playing as a custom Tav, except for the few moments with the butler and other characters that recognize what you are, which were admittedly pretty cool moments. It just feels like this background is more fun when you indulge the urges. That is until you take a lover and get to Act 2. That's when the background feels like something that you are actively fighting against, and it feels really good to play at that point. Character creation is pretty straightforward in BG3. You pick your class, your background, and your race, and the game will allocate your skills and stats for you, and frankly, it actually does a pretty good job of it, and for a first-time player, you can just use the defaults. And once you get a little further into the game, and you learn what is good and what's bad, you can use withers in camp to respec your character at any time, and it only costs about 100 gold, and I'll just put it to you this way, by the end of the game, I had 25,000 gold pieces, okay? So, it ain't gonna cost you that much. So don't worry if you screw up your character. You can screw up your character as many times as you want, and you can always fix them later, early in game without much of a hassle. And given that respecing in this game is not mandatory, but might as well be, I will be giving you a much more detailed character build breakdown in the story section because it's easier to build the character as we go instead of front loading you with a bunch of information. The character creator is pretty good, not great, just okay. You know, what it does well is in representing all of the races, classes, subclasses that are found in the 5th edition player's handbook. The sheer effort it must have taken to create this many races, sub-races, and classes is pretty staggering. They even included the Drow because they had to know that people were going to want to play as one, and they didn't just include one version of the Drow, but both the Lolthsworn and Seldarine Drow. That's going the extra mile. There's a ton of hairstyles, piercing styles, makeup, and face painting options to customize your character. I was even able to make my totally original character Smiley. You have a few faces to pick from, each portraying an ethnicity, but the roster of faces is pretty limited and you'll end up making characters that look alike. But where this game innovates is in the penis customization. There's more options for how your dick looks than how your face looks, and unlike your hair, physics affect your dangly bits. So you can make it flop around, smacking your inner thigh like two mighty pendulums hanging from an uncircumcised shaft. When developers say that they're scared of the new precedent that BG3 sets, this is what they're talking about. Realistic dick physics. Truly, we live in remarkable times. Then you gotta name your character, and the default is this. And I don't know what it is, but it's lacking something. I mean, something about this whole thing, it just ain't feeling right. I'm just not feeling it. So let's change some shit around and give this dude some pale skin, or, you know, as pale as you can make a dark elf. Whiteface is fine, right?
Squeeze me? Oh no, you dick.
You ugly as shit.
Eric Draven the Crow. Now let me tell you something, kids. Your boy Paulie used to pull some goth tail cosplaying as this dude in the clubs. Nothing turns a goth chick on more than a skinny white boy wearing makeup. Just had to make sure you didn't get your ass beat on the way to the club. Challenge level impossible. The story starts as most games do with a cutscene, except this cutscene is bananas. You know how like some games just have you ride a goddamn cart to an execution or some boring shit like that, or some dude in armor kicks open a door and throws another dude off a building? Well, this game is like, nah dog, funk that noise. You gonna wake up in an eldritch gimp chamber with a hentai monster getting ready to insert a sperm into your eyeball like some weird German porno. And then you find out that you aren't in a gimp chamber, but instead inside a nautiloid, hurtling through space and time, eventually ending up in Faerun, snatching up dudes and dudettes with your magical teleporting tentacle things, and then BAM! Some crazy Jim Henson monsters riding in on frickin' red dragons burst in and start wrecking up the place, and then you wake up, but only after an explosion damn near blows the entire ship to shit. Then you pop out of a pod and begin looking around, and the place is decorated like it was furnished by Ed Gein. You got brains in jars, you got chests made out of cartilage that are shaped like the name of a black metal band. We even got doors shaped like assholes that dilate when you get close to them for easy insertion. It's pretty damn gross, all said. Then you come up to this guy, and this guy, he's got a problem. You see, someone done sawed this dude's skull cap off, and his brain is trying to get your attention, which is crazy because I didn't think brains could talk without lips. You learn something new every day.
Yes, you've come to save us from this place. From this place, you'll free us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't even know how to get you out of there. Wait. I got an idea. See, it's a lot like a jar of grape jam. You gotta jar it loose before you pry it out with your bare friggin' hands.
The brain lifts from the skull, but you notice an opportunity. You could cripple the strange creature, making it more subservient, should it prove a threat. Your fingers twitch with the desire to rip its tender, moist meat to shreds.
Stop looking at me like that.
Like what?
Let's go!
The creature seems unaware of your interference. It relaxes in your hands.
We are free. Our freedom is ours, friend.
Wow, that's messed up.
Just one of the many mutilations and crimes against humanity we'll be committing. Further in, we encounter one of those Jim Henson puppets from earlier, except this one is sexy. And instead of penetrating us, she joins our team, giving us a small chance of, perhaps, wearing her down mentally enough over the span of several days in order to allow us to penetrate her later. See, what you do is you send the girl as many pictures of your dick as you can, about 10 a day on average for about a month. Get creative with it, okay? Try different lighting techniques and even like dress it up with a little top hat and glasses. Try some dramatic lighting so it looks like your dick is lost deep in thought. Eventually, she'll block you, and that's when you get a new phone number and start sending pictures from there. Eventually, she will have seen your average looking dick so many times that it'll start to look like a massive hog. And that's when you strike. So we bond by killing some imps. And in an effort to impress her, I execute a bunch of dudes who were just sitting down to relax after a hard day of running away from tentacles. And she seems unimpressed. And here I was, just trying to do something nice that I thought that we could both enjoy, and you have to go off being an asshole. Well, consider this the last time, Lae'zel. This is the last time I ever tried being nice to you. And to think, I was gonna let you have some penis later. Well, no penis for you. Now look, Eric Draven is a curious guy. See, when he sees a button, he has to press it.
As you place your hand on the pod, you hear something. A presence connected to the pod.
Oh God, no!
Change her. Changed at the pull of a lever. How? If we are not purified, this may be our fate.
Man, I don't know, Lae'zel, man. That sounds kind of racist to me. How are you going to judge this beautiful tentacle monster that eats brains? That's, alright, never mind.
The console hums to life. But what is its purpose? Will it free the captive or transform her like...
Don't care, pressing the button. Now, Shadowheart is the romance option that has the most in common with Vanilla Ice Cream. You'll pick her as a partner until you get a little older, a little wiser, and start wondering what you would look like mixed with an owlbear. Now we have 2 women on our team. One more and we'll officially have a harem. After looting all the dead bodies we left in our wake and doing a little B&E in a chest, we end up on the flight deck of the Nautiloid. Now, it's important to point out that there is a devil commander in here that's using a really good greatsword, and there's a way that you can get it from him without having to kill him. Shadowheart has access to command. Command can force an enemy to drop their weapon. So what you do is you use command on him, make him drop his weapon, and then immediately pick it up. And you'll have an awesome greatsword to start the game off with. We have a fight with a bunch of imps, and we try to fight this devil guy, but he proves to be very lucky, and we can barely do any damage to him. And just as we're about to give up, 2 more devils come up behind us and makes the decision to leave that much more obvious. So we sprint to the command console, or whatever the hell this thing is, almost get our ass fried up by the dragon from the hit game Dungeons and Dragons, and we start hurling through space at a speed that throws us around like a rag doll. We get bitch slapped by a piece of debris and fall out of the ship, and as the ground rises up to meet us, and right before we empty the entirety of our bowels, something stops us just before hitting the ground, like Batman trying to intimidate a thug. Being that Eric Draven is such a curious guy, when he comes across a dead body, he's just so, I don't know, like fascinated by it that he has to stop, kneel down next to it, and think about how this mutilated corpse reminds him of his past, when he was an innocent young pup dissecting street cats and pulling the wings off of birds. Good times.
You know nothing of why, but you find a half smile flittering across your face. As soon as you delve into your mind, it is filled with flashes of 1,000 different dead. There is something unknown and unspeakable deep within your heart.
My little pony, my little pony.
Wake up! Wake up!
One thing, just before we go. I wanted to thank you again for freeing me. It would have been all too easy for you to run right past my pod, but you didn't. I'll remember that.
Oh, that's good. You know, that trust will come in handy when I start disemboweling people in broad daylight.
Hurry. I've got one of those brain things cornered. There, in the grass. You can kill it, can't you? Like you killed the others?
Nah, I'm good. This seems like one of those, like, lure you into the woods at the local park and force you to have sex with, like, 5 guys kind of things. Yeah, fool me once, and shame on you. Fool me about 6 or more times, well, shame on me. I knew it, this is a sex thing. Well, look, dude, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'm wearing makeup, and that makes me the straightest guy you know, so get off me.
I saw you on the ship, strutting about whilst I was trapped in that pod.
Well, first off, I was not strutting, okay? I was clenching my butt cheeks so they looked a little more defined, and before you get any ideas, I was trying to impress Lae'zel, not you. And yes, I know I look good, okay? They don't call me BBL Draven for no reason.
What did you and those tentacled freaks do to me?
Hey, calm down, man. We've all had something freaky inserted into us in the past. Today, I meant today that we had when, you know, the back at the ship, the thing they did to us, that's what I meant. The little worm thing. You know, because that just technically just happened. That's what I meant about the past. You know, the recent past, not like, you know, like long time ago.
A kindred spirit.
Wait, what? No. Look. I mean, why would you even like say something like that? I don't know what you're talking about.
Do you know anything about these worms?
What, like brain worms? Ah, yeah, man. I'm on like Twitter like all day. Shit, I might even have a few on my own. Astarion has the most in common with a cat who just spilled your cup of water all over the floor. Even his voice at times sounds like a sexy meow. And having picked up Astarion, we now have a crew of 3. Just one more member and we can start coming up with gang signs and shit. After we curb stomp a mind flare, we come to a road with a glowing purple rune on the cliff face.
A hand?
This branch of flesh is begging to be pruned, and its sap sucked from.
You were supposed to lend a hand, not take one.
A spasm grips your chest. Your strength falters. An emptiness grows within you, Paladin. Something has been lost.
Broken your oath, Paladin.
Oh, right. Shit. I'm supposed to be a good guy. All right, let me fix this.
Ow. Perhaps I should have clarified. A helping hand. That's it. Go on. Keep pulling. Hello. I'm gay.
Yes. We're all a little gay, okay? You don't have to go around telling everyone the moment you meet them.
Apologies. I'm usually better at this.
At what? Sticking your hand through weird holes?
At magic. Back on the ship, you two were on the receiving end of a rather unwelcome insertion in...
Hey, dude, shut up. Shut up about that. This girl doesn't know I like pegging. And I'm trying to introduce her to it gradually, you know what I mean? You gotta ease a girl into that kind of thing, you know? Not something you just bring up on the first date, like, hi, my name is Paul, I like hot dogs, and when a girl straps a dildo on and pounds me out like a chicken breast.
You don't happen to be a cleric by any chance, do you? A doctor?
Oh, no. I'm more like on the supply side of pain.
How about we lend each other a helping hand once more and look for a healer together?
And with that, Gale joins our crew and offers this up as a way of thanking us for pulling him out of that rock.
It was an act of foresighted kindness, I assure you. For I have the feeling ample opportunities will present themselves for me to return the favor.
I don't like the way you said that.
That name gotta be registered and placed on neighborhood watch.
Holy house. Under elf.
Lay tight now, mister.
Hey, didn't your dad ever tell you not to mess with a dude with eyeshadow on?
Demaze.
Come, hey, mister. Now.
So we cut our Muppet out of the trap that she got caught in and have a little banter back and forth in which she reveals that she has absolutely no sense of humor, which means once and for all that she's not the right girl for me. You see, I need someone who's gonna laugh at all my jokes and giggle cutely while saying, "You're so funny," and step on my testicles when I beg.
You may as well suggest a wyvern bow to worms.
And unfortunately, she only fits one of those criteria. Therefore, she gets sent back to camp. It's at this point that the game changes from being mostly dialogue and exploration to being mostly combat and exploration. Since this is a how-to video, some would say that I'm obliged to show you the best way to engage in these combat encounters. Instead, I'm going to show you the funniest way to fight them.
It's all good. No worries. Here we go.
This will do nicely.
You fight well.
After the fight, everyone is feeling pretty worn down and require a long rest to get all of our spell slots back. So we head to camp, and this is where you get to talk to everyone about what their favorite color is, and eventually tell you that they want to have fuck with you. Everyone, including the ones you really don't want hitting on you, like Scratch.
There's death in your scent, but not in your words.
I wouldn't be talking about foul-smelling scents for somebody who sniffs somebody else's ass to say hello. We asked Lae'zel to tell us about what the sperm dude in our brain will do to us, and in excruciating detail, she obliges.
Yes, in great detail. It starts with a fever and memory loss. Then you start to hallucinate. Your hair falls out and you bleed from every orifice. Your bones will change form. Your jaw will split to allow room for 4 great tentacles. All skin will turn to gore and be shed to reveal new flesh underneath. Then you have ceased to exist, and a mind flayer is born.
I'm terrified beyond the capacity for rational thought.
If you tell her that all you want to do is murder kittens all day, every day, she has this tiny bit of wisdom to impart upon you.
Many a good warrior savors the scent of blood in the air. There's no shame in a capricious murder now and again. Too many, though, and you waste energy and dull your weapon.
It's not easy. Butchering people's hard work.
My suggestion: attack with purpose and savor your kills. And if the urge proves too much, well, I'm sure we can find you a goblin or 2 to carve up.
I'm scaroused.
Alright, I think I'm coming around on Lae'zel. She might be my favorite character in the game. But listen, there's only 2 reasons we came to camp, and one of them is to sleep, and the other is to talk about respecking our characters. White girl is pretty basic right now. She's okay at what she does, but with a few tweaks, she could be amazing at what she does. So, we respec her and pick the Tempest as her cleric domain. See, Tempest domain is by far my favorite class in both this game and the tabletop game as well. I'm currently playing in a tabletop game and I play a Kobold Tempest cleric, and the best ability that he has is the ability to do max damage on any lightning based damage or thunder damage twice per day. In tabletop, that means if you multi-class with Sorcerer, at level 8 you'll get access to Lightning Bolt, which means that in a single turn, you can do 48 damage twice in one round to multiple enemies by using Meta Magic and Quicken Spell. It is broken. So, make sure when you respec her that you also invest in the Charisma as your second highest ability score. It's going to be important later when we start taking sorcerer levels. Also, in BG3, if a character is wet and you hit them with lightning damage, they take double damage. That means that in a single round, you can do 96 damage to multiple enemies. Let me put that in perspective. Most enemies have less than 80 HP, even in the late game. So it's possible to take out entire groups in one round. That's crazy as shit. Also, now that we're at level 4 or about that, we also want to respec Astarion as well. The reason being is that he will be a great rogue thief, but if we multi-class him with Gloomstalker Ranger, he becomes even better, since he gets access to both an extra bonus action with Thief and a bonus attack with Ranger, giving him 3 possible attacks with hand crossbows in one turn, and the ability to cast a bonus action spell like Hunter's Mark, as well as yet another attack in the form of a round 1 ambush. So that's 5 attacks in the first round and 4 attacks every round after that. Combine that with the sharpshooter feat and you'll be doing around 80 to 100 damage per round at range. So at level 4, you could start taking ranger levels or take level 4 in Thief and take the sharpshooter feat for that plus 10 damage, and Astarion's damage will go through the roof. Now, for Gale, he can just stay a wizard with a caveat. When you get access to a feat, you want to pick dual wielder so that he can wield 2 staves at the same time. Each staff will give you spells that you can use per day, effectively increasing your maximum amount of spell slots, and it gives you a nice +1 to armor class as well. And at the end of the game, you'll be able to wield 2 staves that each give you 1 use of arcane battery, which allows you to cast any spell without using a spell slot. That means that you could effectively get 2 level 6 spell slots for free every day. Now, if you use Will instead of Gale, which is a viable option, you have a ton of different things that you could do with him. You could go for a Warlock Paladin build, or do what I do and take 2 levels in Warlock, take the invocation that pushes enemies and the one that adds your charisma modifier to damage rolls, then take 2 levels in Fighter to get Action Surge, and then the rest of your levels in Sorcerer and take Twin Spell and Quicken Spell for meta magic options. And in one turn, you can use Eldritch Blast, Action Surge, another Blast, then meta magic Quicken Spell for yet another blast. And at max level, you'll get 3 blasts per cast, which means you could hit up to 9 enemies in a single turn. That's well over 100 damage per turn, and a lot more if you use Hex to get the bonus damage. It is bananas. And with Twin Spell, I don't know if a lot of people know this, you can use single target spells with Twin Spell to get an extra cast. So for instance, you could use Tasha's Hideous Laughter on 2 different people in the same round. And if you really wanted to get crazy with things, you could Action Surge, use it again, Quicken Spell, use it again, and you could have Tasha's Hideous Laughter on 4 different people in round 1. That's crazy. Now for people who like Lae'zel, she's very straightforward. You just go straight Fighter with the Battlemaster subclass. Menacing Strike, Disarming Strike, and Pushing Strike are great abilities. And for feats, which are insanely important to this character, well, you're gonna have several options. But one of them is good, but is also not functioning the way it should. See, Polearm Master is awesome in tabletop because polearms have reach. When an enemy walks within 10 feet of you, you get an opportunity of attack. So that means if someone wants to even close distance with your character to attack you, they have to take possible damage first. If they want to go around you to get to somebody behind you, they gotta go the long way around and stay 15 feet away from you or provoke an attack. Now, this is already pretty good, but then you combine this feat with the Sentinel feat and things get real interesting. See, Sentinel has some interesting features. If you are near a companion and that companion is attacked, you get to attack the enemy on their turn. This is pretty good with the range of a polearm, but the real killer is the fact that when you hit someone with an opportunity attack, they lose all movement. So if an enemy closes to melee distance with you and does not have a reach weapon, they stop 10 feet from you and cannot attack or close distance because they're too far away to do anything. The problem is, BG3 does not fully stop the enemy 10 feet from you when it prompts you with an opportunity attack. They continue to close distance after a hit, which is a bug that will see the enemy still being able to hit you. It's a great combo, it just doesn't work the way it should. Larian, please fix this. This is super important. But the real kicker to Sentinel is the fact that it gives you advantage on opportunity attacks, which makes Polearm Master even more viable. I went with this combo and Great Weapon Master in my playthrough, and I had a ton of fun. The more reliable option though is to take Great Weapon Fighting for your first feat, which exchanges a -5 to hit for a +10 to damage. This shit is crazy good, and you can turn it on or off in the passive tab. You also get a bonus attack every time you get a critical, which gets really good with certain Illithid powers like Luck of the Far Realms. For your level 6 feat, take ability improvement and increase your strength to 20 to compensate for the hit chance that you lose with the previous feat. At level 8, take tough to get extra hit points if you find Lae'zel is taking naps too much during fights. Or Savage Attacker, which allows you to re-roll your damage dice and take the higher roll. Great for maximizing damage, especially when you roll a 1d12 or a 1d10 for damage. As for your main character, you can be anything you want, to be honest. But may I suggest to you, Paladin. It is a great class to just go straight through without multi-classing because it does so much damage on its own that it doesn't really need help. For instance, my Paladin has the Luck of the Far Realms perk from the Illithid skill tree. This allows him to crit guaranteed once a day as a reaction on confirmed hits. Save this up for boss fights and watch your Paladin tank their health in a single hit. To make this even more ridiculous, the Killer's Sweetheart ring allows you to crit after killing an enemy, which means you get another attack. And if you combine this with the Surgeon's Subjugation Amulet, your critical hits also paralyze creatures once per day for 2 rounds. So you can see how, with certain perks and items, your character can become a powerhouse of damage quite easily. Ability score improvements are also good for strength to increase your chance to hit in combination with Great Weapon Master for all the obvious reasons. And Savage Attacker at max level can help maximize that crit damage for even crazier one-shots. Upon leaving camp and exploring more, we come across a big gate which is currently in the midst of some drama.
Open the bloody gate! Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders! That pack of goblins will be on us any second! What's going on? Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now! Cannon! No! Shit! Form a line!
With everyone locked out and us absolutely swimming in goblins, it's time for combat. If you bring everyone up to this little cliff here in the middle area, you'll be pretty much safe from the majority of the damage, but if you want to get into the thick of shit, just get down to the ground level and start punching people in the face.
Better get to it.
Into the shadows.
Yeah, boy.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Nope.
You shouldn't have done that.
After absolutely eviscerating the poor, unfortunate little goblins, we get allowed in camp. And immediately upon entering, this shit happens.
This squirrel might be the single most adorable creature you can recall in all your stunted memory. It would be ever so twee if it were climbing a tree.
Jesus, man, what the hell? The narrator said it was cute and you kick it into a fucking rock? What's wrong with you?
Huh. You look rabid, pained, sick. You're spasming and twitching. You poor thing.
Yeah, you should see the other guy.
It seems you've been dealt a vile hand. I say, play it. Play it for all it's worth. Nobody should deny themselves their true nature.
Well now, you see, you say that, but then we go back to camp.
That's why I'm here. When I'd heard what you'd done, it inspired me. Made me feel brave again. I want to join you. To fight by your side.
And nah, bitch, you need to leave, like, now, you know, for, like, your own safety.
But I can fight. I won't hold you back. I swear it.
Truly, you have a dizzying intellect.
12 o'clock midnight.
You open your eyes with a lurch, and you are not in your bed. You stand above a body which is in a state of gore nearly beyond recognition.
You guessed wrong.
Another waif dead before her time. I wonder how it happened.
It could literally be any one of us. Ooh.
Now, I can't help but notice that one of us is positively drenched in blood. So?
I was trying to give her CPR, and then I gave her mouth to mouth, and that didn't work out.
She was brutalized. The killer knifed her many times after she was dead.
Actually, it wasn't a knife, it was her own horn. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
This blood didn't get there on its own. Her neck didn't snap by any accident.
Oh, it was definitely not by accident. It was quite hard to snap, I imagine.
The parasite must be affecting you deeply.
Oh, yeah, the parasite. Yeah, exactly. It's all the parasite. Well spotted, Shadowheart. That's a good observation. Well, I think that's that. Mystery solved. Shall we get back to it?
Even if it was the worm, this was peculiar indeed. I'll be watching.
We're all trying to find the guy who did this.
One more failed adventurer. Gone to the mud now.
Back to Druid's Grove, there are plenty of little side activities to get up to, people to interact with, conflicts to resolve, and so on, but we need to do a little bit of targeted stealing. Zevlor, the tiefling dude from earlier, he's got a pair of gauntlets that we need. I mean, technically we don't need anything, but we do want them. What they do is cast Blade Barrier on a target every time you heal them, which means you make that target of your heal resistant to all the most common damage types in the game. It's pretty damn good for a healer, but getting them is not so easy. You have to time it so that he's talking to the guard and stand in this little space where he can't see you, or you could cast Minor Illusion and go into time-based mode and sneak up behind him, which is much easier and is the main reason you shouldn't sleep on Minor Illusion. It is one of the GOAT cantrips in the game. Anyway, once you've stolen the gloves, Zevlor will realize that someone's nicked his shit and he'll start searching around. All you gotta do is leave. Even if he sees you and starts chasing you, so long as you leave the area, he'll just forget he was ever suspicious of you. Now, of particular interest in this place is this ox. See, there's something very wrong with it.
Something's off. This creature isn't what it appears to be.
Moo! The boy ain't right.
Next we meet Will, and he's hard at work bullying a small child with a dangerous weapon, and he seems to be enjoying it. That's kind of a dick move, dude, not gonna lie. And that's why you would be perfect for the team I'm building. We're called the Diddy Dogs, and we hate kids. Or love them, depending on who you ask. Being a drow is pretty dope, because no matter where you go, no matter what you do, people have heard about your kind, and not in a good way. So no one ever knows what the hell you're up to, and it makes it really easy to scare people.
Oh, hey, you're one of those drow, right? I heard stories about you. How you all live underground and steal kids away.
You forgot to mention that wives beat their husbands and turn them into spiders when they don't hit the right spot.
Oh, okay.
Hold out your hand, mister. Let me show you something. Go on. Take this ring. It's lucky.
Man, what are you, like a street magician? That's pretty lame, kid.
I never learned names or anything. Just the tricks. Anyway, forget that. Take the ring. I want to show you how lucky it is.
Okay, yeah, sure, but oh my god, wait, what's that? What's that behind your ear?
Weeping, bleeding hells!
Yeah, I know, right? Pretty gay, huh? And I know gay, kid. I'm an elf.
You suddenly feel something moving against your back and turn.
I got you, you little shit! Trying to grab my ass, weren't you? Who put you up to this?
One of the big kids. How did you catch me?
I'm an elf. We have very sensitive asses.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll try harder not to get caught next time. Bye.
Aw, precocious little scamp. Reminds me of my boyhood years. As we get further into the grove, there's a commotion at the gate, and a bear threatens us until they find out that we're on the guest list and have backstage passes to meet the head lady. First time we meet the interim leader of the Druid's Grove, she's threatening to kill a little girl with a poisonous snake.
Please. I'm sorry.
This is madness, Korga. She's just a...
A what, Wrath? A thief? A poison? A threat?
Nah, bitch, I'm pretty sure he was gonna say a little girl. I mean, I know kids are a pain in the ass, but you know, this might be going a little too far.
Girl? You mean parasite?
Nah, I think I was pretty clear on this. I said, oh, wait a minute, you're a racist.
She eats our food, drinks our water, then steals our most holy idol in thanks.
The snake's hiss of approval reveals its intentions. Should the child struggle, it is poised to strike. The death of a child, a timeless tragedy that never grows old.
Oh shit, yeah, right, I'm a paladin.
Her life matters more than satiating your dark fantasies. You focus, and they're gone.
I was scared. They said when the rite was over we'd have to leave. But there's goblins out there and worse. And it's nice here. So I took the idol. I thought maybe then we could stay.
Oh, well, that was a stupid thing to do. All right, go ahead, you can kill her.
Thank you.
Wait, what?
Tina, to me.
Wait, I said kill her. What are you doing? You don't listen. Our mission is to find a healer that can possibly remove the little squiggly guy in our head. And there's supposedly a healer here in the grove. And at the back of this cave is a room where a cute little person is healing up an injured bird. She tells you that she's got some shit in the back room that can help us, and then she leaves the bird all alone with no one there to protect it.
The bird's eyes are glassy, its breathing weak. Tearing, you play with the broken tissue. The wing is delicately airy.
I'm not a pervert.
You wonder what it would be like to fly as the birds do.
He molested, murdered, and mutilated her.
Broken your oath, paladin.
Oh yeah, I'm a paladin. I keep forgetting.
All right. Let's see what we can do.
What's that plant you got in your hand?
I'm telling you everything you need to know.
Oh, so now we're on a need-to-know basis? Like, what are you, the CIA? Tell me what the plan is.
Look, you've been straight with me, so I'll be straight with you. You're dangerous. If you transform here, we're all dead. But you seem like a good soul. You deserve a chance to save yourself. This is a vial of wyvern poison. Swear to me, you'll swallow it if you feel any symptoms.
So I come to you for healing, and you give me some shit that'll kill me? What kind of doctor are you, Miss Kevorkian? I'm about this bitch. So the Grove is, unfortunately, full of murderers, so we're not gonna get any help from them. But I met this old lady earlier in camp. It seemed like a nice enough sort. She says that she could whip me up something to make me feel better at her tea house, and I don't know if teas are gonna do it, but I'm gonna humor the old bag. You see, she kind of reminds me of my grandmother on my mother's side. I mean, I know she's a green hag in disguise, but so is my grandma. As we head further away from the Grove, we meet some people on the road, 2 of them alive and 1 of them dying, and they tell us about an owlbear nearby that killed the dude on the ground. So we head out to find it. Nearby is a cave, and sure enough, right outside it are bear tracks. And inside, sure enough, is a huge owlbear thing, and this thing is dangerous, especially at our level. It has a beak that can pull your intestines out like it's sucking up spaghetti, and it's got claws that'll tear open metal armor. But you know what this thing can't deal with? Elevation. Okay, so we're just gonna wait until he turns his back and make a beeline for the ladder. Oh shit, he's moving. Shit, hurry up, you slow bitches. What are you doing? Hurry the hell up, you assholes! Don't jump! Climb, dummy! Oh my god, you asshole Gale! Get up there! Oh my god! It's like herding cats! Now that you have everyone in elevation and hidden from view, you get an ambush round for each character. And if you cast a summon by the enemy, they'll be so focused on the summon that they'll forget about you completely. Then if you really want to screw the owlbear over, hit him with Abjure Enemy. If he fails his saving throw, he'll be frightened and unable to move. If he passes this save, then he'll be slowed instead. Either way, he'll have a hard time getting to you in that state. The owlbear hasn't even had a turn yet, and he's already near death. This is the power of ambush rounds, or surprise rounds to be precise. The best thing about a surprise round is that even when it is the owlbear's turn, they'll have to pass their turn because they were surprised by your attack, which means you get to attack him again before he even gets a chance to attack, depending on your initiative, that is. And just like that, it's dead before it even got a chance to react to what was happening.
The cub looks from you to his dead mother.
Aw, now I kind of feel bad.
You watch, speechless, as the cub begins to eat his mother.
Oh, that's, okay, we should leave.
Keep moving, stranger. Quietly.
We gotta talk about an often overlooked ability that is one of the best social abilities in the game. Talk to animals. See, there's two different ways to interact with animals in the game. There's animal handling, which is basically an instinct that you use to figure out how to best interact with animals without scaring them away, and you can sometimes use that ability to get them to help you out. Then there's Speak with Animals, and this ability will do everything that animal handling will do, and so much more. Because you're able to talk to animals, you find out what they're thinking, what they want, and sometimes the animals will even tell you about the history of the place that you're in. And sometimes the interactions are stupidly funny. Either way, it's well worth either taking this spell for Asterion once you start getting ranger levels, or having a few animal speaking potions on hand. It is almost 100% of the time worth talking to animals instead of simply handling them. Next we head to the Blighted village nearby, and we stroll right in through the front gate because, as I said before, being a drow offers up some very unique benefits, like scaring the shit out of anything with a brain and a knack for self-preservation.
Get over there! Surround him like! You spotted us! Good! It's like they say. Wait, a drow? In the sun? Stand down! This one's got a touch of the absolute about him. Apologies, your lordship. Hard making you out from a distance.
I know you're not saying we all look alike.
Please, your greatness. Was an honest mistake is all. You'll get no more trouble from us. Promise.
I'll be watching you.
And now that we have their trust, we can start picking them off, one by one. But there's one group, in particular, that we need to take down first. And that's these big dumb assholes over here in what used to be a schoolhouse. These guys sound dumb, but one of them is oddly smart. That's because he's got himself a band of intellect on, and we want that shit. Why? We don't have any use for it in particular, so why not just leave them alone? Well, because it's shiny, and there's EXP to be farmed. And what have we learned about big monsters so far? Well, they don't like it when someone attacks them from a high up space.
I got something real for your ass in these hands.
in danger!
Oh, shit.
You get nothing! You lose! Good day, sir!
That's your home! Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
After we finish torturing these poor, unfortunate ogres, it's time to explore the rest of town. And explore you must, because there is a ton of really good stuff in this place. In the tavern is a cellar, and this cellar is a must for anyone who cares about finding interesting and impactful loot. In this cellar is a room full of coffins, and in each one of these coffins is a douchebag skeleton waiting to ambush you. But if you bash open each coffin instead of opening them, you can kill each skeleton individually instead of all at once. There's a record on the table that explains what was happening down here, and it explains that a necromancer, a red wizard of Thay, was trying to resurrect someone who was long dead, and the bodies were his initial experiments. Further in, you'll run into a mirror, a talking mirror.
Speak your name. I see you were shaped by darkness, not light. You are not Elintoth. If you are his ally, step forward and declare it.
Well, okay, how about I just shatter your ass and walk in instead?
There is a pause as those glass eyes take you in. Then
60% of the time, it works every time.
Near the front of this workshop is a book locked behind a gate and a couple of traps. Send in Asterion, and instead of letting him take a look at the book, take it for yourself.
That looks terribly heavy. Why don't you let me carry it for you?
Nah, I think I got this. I don't think you should read this, Asterion. It looks pretty scary and it might give you nightmares.
You can't be serious. Give it to me this instant.
Nope. Can't read the damn thing anyway because it's locked. Requires a dark amethyst to open it up. Now, I'm pretty sure this necromancer fellow had an amethyst to open this thing up, but he might have hidden it away before the town got invaded. Where would I hide something I didn't want found in an emergency? The town well.
The well stands, as it has for ages.
So we head down inside, and wouldn't you know it, the place is absolutely infested with creepy crawlies skittering about on these precarious little bridges overlooking impossibly deep chasms. This looks like a job for our eldritch machine gunner Will. So we head back to camp and level up our man. 2 levels in Warlock, Agonizing Blast and Repelling Blast for invocations, and 2 levels in Fighter for getting access to Action Surge. But when we go to sleep, we do not sleep well. Something awakens our Gothic prince, something hungry.
Your body barely complies. You feel such rushes from your thoughts of the dead woman. Why did she die? The mystery gnaws at your pounding heart.
Me lord, jubilant day. I have found your vile self at last. Sceleritas fell. Your loyal and ever adoring butler.
Dude, what? I have a butler? And such a handsome one at that. I'm a lucky son of a dubious god. So, you got any idea why I'm such a sick bastard?
Oh, I had heard of my lord's indisposition, but I'd hoped the rumors were untrue. No matter. We will get you back to committing 5 villainous acts before breakfast in no time. I found you following the stench of that bard. She reeked across the coast like a piece of dog muck on the road.
Actually, that's me. I shit my pants a while back and I didn't want to tell anyone, so I've just been kind of living with it. So, did you make me kill that lady? I mean, I've been operating on the assumption that I'm not responsible for any of the horrible shit that I do. You know, like a gamer.
Such fine work could never be done by a wretch like me. Anyways, I come once again bearing a part of your dreadful inheritance. You earned this iniquitous prize through your great show of exceptional violence the other night. I'm sure Master will be better soon. A fellow of your fine breeding is never down for long. I cannot wait until your next act of shameless barbarity.
Dude, if you're gonna give me cool shit every time I murder someone, I'm respecting my class right now. I mean, screw this paladin bullshit. The cloak that he gives you makes you invisible for 2 rounds every time you kill someone. So, whenever you kill someone, your next attack is almost always a guaranteed hit because of the advantage that invisibility offers. If you ask about your past, he only has this to say.
Though I would love to regale you with your past triumphs, I cannot. I am forbidden to interfere. Our betters will not allow it. Be true to yourself, my lord.
After a few battles with our spider friends in these horrible friggin' ettercaps, we come to an open area where the mother of all spiders can be found with her gigantic fat ass and her gigantic health bar.
Damn, nature, you scary!
Normally, this fight would be difficult, but we ain't normal, son.
Bye, Felicia.
The book is locked tight with no visible keyhole. Only an oval recess in the cover's mouth. You try to examine the book, but the longer you stare, the more those piercing amethyst eyes draw you in. You can sense something dark about this tome. Something profane.
We surely shouldn't leave such a threat out, where anyone could stumble across it.
Oh, you don't gotta worry about that, Will. In fact, I'm gonna read this bitch right now. All right, y'all. Wish me luck. Aw, Asterion, you little jealous ass bitch. I was gonna read it out loud, but now I'm not.
The book's pull is irresistible. You feel changed, bettered for having opened it. Suddenly, you are capable of anything. Felling mountains, darkening suns, conversing with the dead.
Yeah, boy.
Glyphs shift gently before your eyes. Words slip into your mind, onto your lips, forming words you don't understand. And something is trying to reply.
Oh, okay, yeah, this might have been a mistake. Oh, thank God.
The symbols dart beneath your eyes, warping and twisting. Your head throbs, but you almost understand.
Oh shit, that's high. I'm a lucky bastard!
The world around you is gone. You can only see those glyphs, only hear those voices. You feel claws moving in the shadows. They pull at you, dragging you closer.
Okay, big money, no whammies.
Well, I'm dead.
You know what? No, it's all right. It's all right. I got inspirations banked. We can do this. Okay, I'm not as confident as I once was. Okay, listen up, God. If you let me pass this check, I swear to you that I'll be a good Christian from now on. I'll go to church, I'll help the poor, and I'll give all my money to charity. I swear. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, God. You got played. I had my fingers crossed the entire time. I ain't going to church. I'm a drow. We worship a spider, dude.
The glyphs scream, branding your mind with strange runes. You see time rewritten, fate undone, your future thrumming with power. The book snaps closed. You've seen too much. What profane knowledge is now seared inside of you should never have known.
Now that we've read the book with the screaming face on it, which is totally not a crime against our god, we've been granted 2 new powers. First is Talk with the Dead, which does exactly what the name says it does. It lets you talk to the dead. Sometimes the dead actually have some interesting shit to say, and sometimes they'll tell you where they've hidden some valuables. So, whenever you find a dead humanoid, just give it a try. You never know what you might find. The second ability is Profane Knowledge, which grants you a +1 on certain skill checks. It's pretty helpful, I'd say, especially for a book bound in human skin and teeth. Next, we're gonna run around town, pushing goblins off high rooftops, stabbing them in the back, and interrupting them in the middle of sweaty, stinky sex in a barn. Then there's the fight at the windmill, and this fight can be difficult for people if you don't have a strategy going in, but we have a strategy, and that's to walk right up to him and be a drow.
What have we got here? Oh, stop this thing!
The goblin seems unsure whether to bow to you or attack.
What do you want? What do you need?
Why is that gnome tied to the windmill, and why isn't he down here being a slave, as is tradition?
You are blessed, ain't ya? A true soul?
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
Okay, I asked you a question and you answered my question with another question. Yeah, I'm a true, whatever you just said.
You're a true soul?
Yeah, dude. Why'd you say it like that?
We'll be on our way, sir. Do as you like with the pipsqueak.
The goblins slink backwards, afraid to take their eyes off you.
Hey, asshole, you never answered my question.
Ask the pipsqueak on the spinny tower. We're out of here.
So we cut the gnome down, and he's an asshole, just like the goblins. Thinks just because I'm a drow that I'm gonna enslave him. It's goddamn racist is what it is. Just because some drow like to commit genocides every now and then doesn't mean we all do. I mean, I do, but not all of us do.
Maybe you wake up because you know something is wrong. Or maybe you just get lucky.
Shit.
Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, this dude's trying to neck with me. And in a way, he is. He's a vampire. And vampires, they like to suck. It makes them happy. And when Asterian's happy, he gets a +1 bonus to everything he does. So you might be thinking, there's no way I'm letting a dude give my neck a sucking. And another part of you is thinking back to all those confusing times in the men's locker room. I say, give in to those memories. Let the boy suck. Because when he gets to suck, he gets a special bite attack that also does decent damage and can be used with a bonus action, so not only does it vastly improve your damage output, but it also provides you with an all-day bonus to literally everything. So listen, give in to the gay. It's not for you, it's for him. The poor little boy had nothing but vermin to suck on for so long. Give him the good shit.
His mind opens up, revealing cracked and quivering memories. At their heart, you see dark eyes commanding you to feed. You open your mouth and bite down, not into a tender neck, but into the twisting body of a rat, the only thing your master lets you eat.
Yes, I ate whatever disgusting vermin my master picked, so you can see why I'm slow to trust you.
Alright, you can have some of my blood, but I got a few rules, okay? No touching below the waist, and no kissing. That costs extra.
It's like a shard of ice into your neck, a quick, sharp pain that fades to throbbing numbness. Your breath catches, your pulse quickens.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
Alright, that's enough from you. I don't want you getting a taste for me.
Oh, of course. That was amazing.
This dude's panting like I popped his cherry. He's so happy that he stumbles drunkenly out into the woods to go fist fight a bear.
As you approach, a guttural scream and a succession of quick bangs rattle the door. Then a low moan. Someone or something is having a bit of fun.
Something is in there doing the monster mash. Let's get in a quick peek, shall we?
Leave it. Whoever's inside doesn't want an audience, and I don't want to fight.
Well then, I got bad news for you, sweetheart. You're in the wrong group because we love to fight. And I said we're opening the door, Shadowheart, so shut the hell up and enjoy the show.
No, God!
What the hell are you doing? It looked like you were struggling, so I figured I'd come in here and give you a hand.
Ruined. Smash! Oh, smash you!
No, you got this all mixed up. You were getting smashed. He was smashing you.
Non-conform. Morse cut.
See that? That's why you pick Paladin. And with that, everyone that used to be alive in this town is now dead. And we can finally move on to more important things, like recruiting the barbarian with a heart of gold, Karlach. But first, we get interrupted by a handsome-looking devil dressed to the nines.
My, what manner of place is this? A path to redemption? Or a road to damnation? Hard to say, for your journey is just beginning.
Okay, we get it. You're a bad guy.
Didn't I tell you?
What's better than a devil you don't know? A devil you do.
Okay, before we waste too much time, I already know what I want, so you don't need to go through your whole monologue, okay? I want a shitload of gold, I want Lae'zel to find me attractive, and I want all the dudes in this game to stop hitting on me. Especially Gale. So, hurry up and just tell me what you want, alright?
Oh, a mere trifle. How dear is one's soul, really? A rhetorical question, of course, but let me venture an answer. It's worth very little with a tadpole in your head.
Oh, bro, nah, you're barking up the wrong tree. I love this little asshole in my head. We've become very close over these past few days, so you're gonna have to come up with something better than that.
Everything is for sale, and you do well to sell while your stock has value. In desperate times, the price of honor plummets. Perhaps you haven't yet realized how desperate these times are. You will. Try to cure yourself. Shop around. Beg, borrow, and steal. Exhaust every possibility until none are left. And when hope has been whittled down to the very marrow of despair, that's when you'll come knocking on my door. Hope. Such a tease.
Your mom's a tease.
Got him!
Actually, she's a whore. I just thought it would sound cooler if I said it like that.
I've always wondered what a laughing mind flayer sounds like.
Probably like...
All those pretty little symptoms, sundering skin, dissolving guts, they haven't manifested yet, have they? One might say you're a paragon of luck. I'll be there when it runs out.
Okay, bye!
We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after an infernal being, straight out of the Nine Hells, hiding in the form of a one-horned tiefling.
One horn? Then you mean Karlach, Archdevil's bootlicker.
You know her, which means you know what the Fiend is capable of. She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family without mercy. We were lucky to survive our encounter with her.
This could be the work of a devil, but they collect souls through cunning, not carnage.
Yeah, there's something wrong here. This guy's a paladin a tier, but if I know anything about paladins, and I think I do, we don't cower like little bitches in a toll house while a devil gets away. These guys aren't charging stupidly head first into evil without thinking, so they can't possibly be paladins. I think these guys are bullshit.
This is the sword of justice, blessed by Tyr. I've wielded it since I swore my oath. It's all I have, but it's yours if you stop her.
Okay, now I know you're a liar. You're willing to give away your weapon, blessed by your god, as a bribe to get me to do your job, killing a devil for you. There's no goddamn way a paladin would do any of this. I'm on to you, pal, but I need proof that they're lying. You see, we can't just attack a guy on a hunch. That's what evil people do. So let's go find this Karlach and get her side of the story.
One horn, the stink of Avernus. Advocatus Diaboli.
You go again with the big words. You're not a knock-around guy. You looked up Latin words and you didn't fucking hang out with the fellas and they used to hang you by your underwear at the lockers. So now none of them are funny because this is your one thing. But I'm funny.
Well, I'll be God's damned. The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good. That'll teach me to underestimate you.
Okay, a literally hot girl dressed in leather and straps and a muscle mommy at that? Get out of my head, Larian!
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. Her rage and desperation seep into you. She is a victim of the blood war, not an agent of it.
She's trying to trick us. Don't believe her lies.
Will, did you seriously just try to fake news me? This isn't Twitter, so fuck off with that shit.
You saw the truth. I never wanted to serve Zariel. I was enlisted in her army against my will. Forced to fight, and fight I did. When I saw an opportunity to get away, I took it. Finally home. Or near it, anyway.
You served her. That's enough to damn you.
Will, last I checked, are you a fucking warlock? You don't see anything wrong with that?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Oh, thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt.
Will literally just said, no you.
I'm Karlach, but you already knew that. And you are...
Your future ex-boyfriend. Welcome to my harem.
She looks like she could throw me over her shoulder and carry me to safety, should the need arise.
That sounds hot. Saving Karlach doesn't come without downsides. See, this Will guy has been running around acting like all that talent and all those eldritch blasts have just been his immense skill. But as it turns out, he's made a deal with the literal devil. And devils are all about their contracts. Like, like a lawyer, but, well, never mind. Exactly like a lawyer.
You told me! Devils only! She's a tiefling, not a monster!
How precious. The little pupster's found his bark.
Clause G, Section 9. Target shall be limited to the infernal, the demonic, the heartless, and the soulless.
Karlach meets the criteria by virtue of having no heart.
There's nothing that a devil likes more than fine print and loopholes. So, because Will didn't kill Karlach, he gets a little makeover.
Will burns in the fires of Avernus. The lightning storms of Dis strike his flesh. His soul passes through each layer of the hells, gaining their essence and their torment.
One ugly motherfucker.
So Will gets himself some sweet new horns. Karlach gets to live, and we get a new set of problems. See, Karlach is a hot lady, perhaps a little too hot. That engine she's got burning in her chest is only meant to run in Avernus, so we seek out the expertise of a craftsman. The blacksmith Damon back at the Grove should know how to use this infernal iron that we keep picking up, and sure enough, he can, but the problem is, the repairs he makes, they're just not good enough, and he needs some more time to figure out a more permanent solution. And what's worse is, we're no closer to finding a cure for the little bugger squirming around inside our head like that worm that ate a part of RFK Jr.'s brain. But that old lady said that she might be able to help. But the place where this lady lives is kind of nasty.
A diminutive creature sporting a red hat glares at you.
What are you doing?
You seize me? Nosy, scum-sucking, lice-reading little ball bag. Get out, or I buy its tongue. Its tongue. Delicious tongue.
In the lady's house? Well, it ain't much better. See, she's got some poor girl stuffing herself so full of food that she's likely to vomit it all up. And this lady couldn't be more suspicious if she had a long pointy nose with a wart on it.
You're thick for saying so. You know, I was gonna give you a swift kick up the arse and show you the door. But I think you and I could have a bit of fun together.
Whoa. Buy me dinner first. Am I right? Fuck. How much longer is this video? I'm only halfway done? Oh my god, it'd be easier to just kill myself.
Keep that hole under your nose shut, or things will get messy.
Well, you heard the lady. We don't want things to get messy.
Smart move, sweetness. Now, I can tell you're in dire need of help, Petal. That wriggler swimming in your brain juice is a bit of an inconvenience, isn't it? I can tell you're almost done cooking. You know, you could turn just like that. What do you say? Want me to take care of the little bugger?
Alright, I see where this is going, so come on, get out with it. What's the price?
Well, that depends on the job. Removing a parasite is no small feat. But I like you, Petal. So I'll only ask for something small. One of your pretty little peepers.
One of my eyes? Bitch, are you out of your mind? I ain't trying to end up looking like Will. I think I'd rather just kill your dumbass. Now, killing this fraud, this liar, this cheater is not so easy. See, if you're playing this with your friends, there's a good chance that all four of you could end up killing her before she gets a chance to react. But if you're playing single player, well, I'm afraid you're out of luck because this bitch cheats her ass off. If you sneak attack her, instead of getting a surprise round like you're supposed to get, she just disappears and runs off. If you hit her with fairy fire as a surprise, not only do you not get a surprise round, but the fairy fire will fall off her, she'll disappear and teleport away. If you block her path and start wailing on her, she'll friggin' teleport. This is one of the first fights in the game where the devs absolutely were wrapping the players' knuckles and punishing them for trying something clever. Not really a fan of this. But there is actually a way to kill the hag in her house and save all her victims. But it is some pretty convoluted shit. And yet, it's actually pretty cool, and I wish I could take credit for it, but sadly, I just wasn't creative enough for this solution. The first thing you have to do is go inside the house while invisible, and sneak behind the fireplace. You need to cast Arcane Lock on the door in the very back. That way, Ethel can't retreat. You kill her, head downstairs, and when you come to the fight with the people with the masks on, you use non-lethal damage to knock them out, then steal their masks, and voila, you've saved them. But yeah, I didn't do all that. And them bitches are dead. If you search the fireplace, you'll find there's a passage to an underground hideout behind it. And in the cellar is Auntie Ethel, a green hag, waiting for us.
You are as thick as they come, sweetness.
Oh shit, thanks for noticing. I have a pretty intense glute workout, but I think the results speak for themselves.
This is my personal playhouse, and you don't have an invite. Get out!
Well, okay, normally I would respect your need for a safe space. Pussy. But I kind of took this oath, and it says I have to kill you, so I'm gonna have to kill you. Plus, I like murder. It's kind of my thing.
God's alive, a paladin! You lot are drier than shite in the noonday sun.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I moisturize every day, or else I get ashy elbows. Get in here. Smell me. You smell that? That's shea butter, bitch.
I've picked plenty of your brethren from my teeth, Petal, and I look forward to seeing how tasty you are.
Well, let me go ahead and ruin the surprise for you. I taste like shea butter. So this place is a true house of horrors. She's got a bunch of her torture victims locked up here in various stages of either death or pain, and the wooden door that is blocking the exit from the Gimp chamber is actually an illusion, and you could just walk right through it. Back here is the aforementioned fight with the masked guys. Remember, if you want to save them, switch to the passive tab and select the non-lethal damage option, and you'll knock them out instead of killing them. Now, if you didn't manage to kill Ethel upstairs, she'll be down here, hiding. And this asshole cheats here too. Just look at this clip.
What?
Wait a minute!
Huh?
Come on, man. What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So what you do is, when she splits up into 4 different versions of herself, split the party and attack each version, and when you have her narrowed down to her real self, hit her with fairy fire. The real Ethel will be highlighted, and you don't need to screw around and possibly kill Mayrina. The other advantage is that anytime an enemy is inflicted with fairy fire, you now get advantage on all attacks against that enemy. So that means you double your chance to not only hit, but hit critically. Now, you might be tempted to knock Ethel off the level. I mean, after all, it is the easiest way to kill this bitch. But don't do that. We actually want Ethel to survive because after the fight, she'll give us a permanent boost to one of our stats, which is great for our paladin. Pick the charisma bonus and give it to your paladin.
Wait! Wait just a tick! Killing me is a waste of time. I'll find a way to return. Always have, always will. I have something you want. Let me leave with the girl, and I'll give you power. You want to be stronger, tougher, smarter? Done. Anything is possible. Just let me keep the girl and her babe.
Don't you dare take the offer. No power is worth such a cruel price.
It's your choice, sweetness.
All right. Counter offer. How about this? You give me the hair and the girl, and you leave with nothing. Does that sound good?
You greedy little bollocks. Fine. Here. Man! I'll not soon forget this sweetness. You have my word.
Well, that's the last we'll ever see of her. So the only thing left is to deal with this Mayrina lady, and she's all pissed off because we saved her instead of letting her baby get eaten by a hag. Because her husband, you know, the guy that shot her up full of 10 cc's of baby batter in the first place, came down with a severe case of death. And she thought Auntie Ethel was actually going to help her. Stupid cow. So we go searching around for something to help her dumbass out inside of Auntie Ethel's room, and we find a wand that will raise the dead. And Mayrina, well, she's excited at first, but you see, a hag's deal is never a straightforward thing, and if there's one thing that you can depend on, it's that you can't depend on a hag.
Bring it back. Bring Connor back! Please! What? What's happening? Why is he still dead?
Oh yeah, Marina, that's kind of an outdated term. I believe that they prefer the term undead.
You feel something pull at you. The creature yearns for a master.
Now, at this point, you got a decision to make, you know? Do you give this fine undead servant to Marina, who uses the incorrect terminology to describe her dead husband, or do you take control of him? Because she's just not worthy of having such a fine creature. He'll be a loyal companion to you all the way to the end of the game. You see, I wouldn't do that because I'm a nice guy, unlike you, but, you know, I'm not judging, you know. You just do whatever your conscience tells you to do, okay?
What have you done to him?
Look, man, this is your husband now. Do you want him or not? Because, you know, if you don't want him, I could always use a new pet. I mean, friends. Friends is what I meant. I mean, I don't mean that you guys are pets. I mean that he would be, you know, a pet, not that friends are pets to me. You know, it's all a new concept for me, okay?
Connor? Connor! I don't even know if he's in there. But he might be. And if he is, I'll find him and bring him back.
Yeah, okay, good luck with that. Next, we'll be heading over to the Goblin camp as our business topside is almost concluded, and the only thing left in this chapter to do is murder some little people, and then murder some slightly less little people. Now take notice of how these soon-to-be dead gobbos react when they see me.
Shove out the claw! Drow coming through!
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Now, if you venture too far into the camp or try to leave, you get a headache. A real bad one.
Hear my voice. Obey my command.
Jesus? Is that you?
The voice is irresistible. You recognize the overwhelming authority that you've used on others, only infinitely stronger.
Oh, well, that's ominous.
Your vision clouds, leaving you in a dark, featureless shadowscape. Nothingness in every direction. Then there are 3 figures before you. An armored male elf exuding power and command. A handsome younger man with a quick, easy smile. And a pale young woman with even paler eyes.
These are my chosen. They speak for me. Aid their search for the weapon, and you will be worthy to stand beside them in my presence.
Okay, cool. But look, I've been catfished before, and it was a very unpleasant experience. I mean, I'm still going to therapy over this. You know, so do you got any like pics that you could send over? You know, maybe some nudes. Because look, all that sounds like a whole lot of effort, and I ain't doing that for some chick I ain't never met. You know what I mean?
The visions fade and the voice falters as a strange energy swells around you. The many-sided artifact. Somehow you understand it's repelling the presence.
My power grows. My forces gather. The reckoning draws.
Now, what we just witnessed is the power of the Absolute. And I bring this up because if it weren't for that 20-sided die, we'd be working for her, or whatever the Absolute is right now, which is crazy because the Absolute is not in this camp. It's very far away. So whatever or whoever it is so strong that it can control the minds of infected people over incredible distances. Once we're done looking around and digging holes everywhere, we arrive in the courtyard of the Goblins' camp, and we spot a familiar face, or beak. It's our little owlbear friend, and being in the custody of these savages can't be good for him.
I reckon it owes us, seeing as how it just ate our last chicken. Reckon it owes us a game. You want to hear the rules or not?
So we partake in what the goblins call chicken chasing, and there's two options here. You can convince the owlbear that the goblins are good eating, and he'll try his best to fight, but that's a death sentence for this little guy. And I know I'm the Dark Urge, and I'm supposed to like that kind of thing, but look, I'm okay with killing bards, they're annoying, okay? I'm okay with killing goblins because they're assholes. And I'm even okay with killing goblin children because they will soon be goblin asshole adults. But I draw the line at killing cute animals, and this little motherfucker is cute as shit. So, to win the race, we send our boy Asterion into the ring and turn on turn-based mode. With the fact that Asterion can use dash as a bonus action and full action, he gets to dash 3 times, and he ends up winning the race before the owlbear can even react. Now, even though we won that race fair and square, this goblin, surprise, surprise, is trying to pull some shit.
Well, looky! That thing works even better in a chicken. Reckon we won't eat it after all. Pardon? You're what? Think you misunderstood, mate. Ain't no winnings, 'cause only a goblin can win chicken chase. Says so in the rules.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority.
See what I mean about them being assholes? This is why abortion shouldn't just be legal, it should be mandatory. So we threaten a little shit with a 56 trimester abortion, and she buckles like a belt.
You're a true soul? Here, it were only a bit of fun, all yours.
Now there are several ways to go about this next part, but there's only one way that we can get Minthara to join us, and it involves a bunch of skullduggery, but be patient. We're gonna get to that. First, we need to pay a visit to this fine-looking young man with the incredibly ineffective armor.
Greetings, child. I've met few aside from goblins here. I was invited to teach them some of my techniques. I live for pain and its intricacies, you see. But alas, these goblins seem to thrive on the crude and primitive. Pain without purpose is a terrible thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Actually, quite the contrary. Pain's awesome, actually. You know, no matter how you slice it. Get it? Slice it? It's a play on words. Don't worry about it. You wouldn't get it.
Forgive me, but that look in your eyes, something terrible has happened to you.
Yeah, I'm kind of a pervert. Look, don't tell Lae'zel, but I like getting pegged. Yeah, I know. It's gonna be a weird conversation later, but you know, I'm currently buttering her up, being really nice, you know, giving her a false sense of comfort, and when she least expected, I whip out the strap-on and give her one of these looks.
Do not be ashamed, child. What I see in your eyes, in your soul, is only natural.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah, see, I feel the same way. Now, if only we can convince my psychiatrist of the same thing, we're good to go.
Please, let me alleviate this pain.
What? You mean like right now? Like in front of all these people? I mean, look, you're a real fuckable twink and all, but I have to be the leader of these guys, and they have to respect me, so I'm gonna have to be on top.
I must see this. Don't you dare say no.
My work can grant peace and serenity, the likes of which few experience. It will be worth it. I promise. Both Loviatar and I are interested in how you handle pain, dear one.
Oh, okay. You want to beat on me. Okay. It's kind of embarrassing, but you know, you could have told me sooner before I got all excited. But all right, fine. Go ahead, you precious little scamp. If you let this guy beat on you for a while, and while you're at it, make fun of him for being a weak little pussy about it.
You want more? As you wish, dear one.
You'll get a buff that lasts a very long time called Loviatar's Love. You'll gain a +2 to hit and wisdom saves whenever your hit points are below 30%. It doesn't proc often, but when it does, it's pretty useful. Next we head over to Minthara, the loveliest woman this side of Faerun, and she's currently yelling at a goblin because he screwed up the task she gave him because he's a goblin, and that's what they do. In order to recruit Minnie, we have to agree to destroy the grove, even if we have no intention of doing so. We have to make her believe that we are. This will, as you might imagine, break our oath, because we swore to kill all evil bastards, and Minnie is about the most evil blueberry to walk topside, so we either have to become an oathbreaker.
We will cleanse the place of infidels and burn it to the ground in the Absolute's name. And then we will be the first among her favorites.
The masterful painting she depicts of the massacre awakens you hungrily.
You've broken your oath, Paladin.
Control yourself. You are as uncouth as the goblins.
Or you can refuse to help her, which will cause her to try and murder you, which, well, then that's the end of that relationship. But there are a few options open to us. The hard way is to respec our character to a cleric temporarily, tell her we'll help her, then go back and respec back into a paladin. But I actually figured out an easier way after I did all this, and I kind of hate myself for not figuring this out sooner. All you need to do is send Astarion in to talk to her while he's separated far from the group, agree to destroy the grove, and suffer no ill effects. I'm not positive that this works, but try it for yourself and let me know in the comments if it does. So anyway, we agree to help her. Will gets all pissy about it.
God damn it all! To the grove, quickly! We can't let it fall to these vicious bastards.
And Minthara heads off towards the grove to ready her forces, and we're supposed to go there to join her. But we don't do that. Instead, we systematically pick off the goblins in the camp one by one. The best way to handle Gut and her cronies is to head down into the spider cave. Now at this point, Astarion should have started taking levels in Ranger and should be able to handle animals fairly well. Before we do anything, cast guidance on yourself, and if you aren't very quick, you could put the game in a turn-based mode by hitting Shift plus space. All you have to do is walk behind this goblin and try hiding. If you succeed at your skill check, you'll be hidden for when you open the gate. Enter the cave and be ready to convince these spiders to eat some goblins. If you're not quick enough, the spiders will run out before you can start dialogue, but in my case it worked out okay, as the spiders started doing their thing, and once they got close to dying, I went into turn-based, healed them up, or tried to, and went to work killing the remaining goblins. After killing Gut and her friends, make sure you grab the tadpole off her corpse, along with all the delicious loot that she drops. If you use the tadpoles, there's a few must-have skills. Luck of the Far Realm is insanely good for a paladin, and really any class. Here's why. When wielding a greatsword and using a level 2 spell slot to smite, you can do, at level 7, enough damage to one-shot an owlbear shade, or damn near one-shot. And if you use Luck of the Far Realms while doing that attack, it's a guaranteed one-shot. The best thing about paladins is they get extra attacks, just like a fighter, but Oath of Vengeance paladins also get Hunter's Mark, which adds 1d6 damage to each attack, and because Hunter's Mark is a bonus action, you can do it and still use all of your action attacks. You also get Inquisitor's Might, which also is used as a bonus action, and that adds 3 radiant damage to all of your attacks. And the best thing about Luck of the Far Realms is that it can be used as a reaction, so you can attack an enemy and choose if you want to use it or not, and save it for the really big enemies. So you can do your smite 2 times in 1 round, which means you'll do well over 130 damage in a single turn. And if you're making potions of speed, the damage potential in 1 turn is it's insane. Oh yeah, I haven't even talked about potions. Alchemy is king in this game. Always pick up ingredients, especially Knoll Ears, because they allow you to make potions of speed, and potions of speed are one of my favorite game-breaking items in this game. I had 10 before I left Act 1, and so should you. Get them, hoard them for tough fights, and use them when you want to embarrass your enemy. Concentrated Blast is good, but not great for us because we will be concentrating on spells like Hunter's Mark and so on. So we don't want to break our concentration on that because we can reapply it once the target is dead for free. So to be honest, there wasn't much to buy, and I made the mistake of purchasing way too many powers, and I regret it now. So just buy Luck of the Far Realms, maybe Cull of the Week, and wait until the higher powered skills open up later in Act 3. If you decide to embrace the tentacle. And if you really want to increase the damage output of your entire group, use Luck of the Far Realms on each companion who does melee or range damage. It'll just increase the amount of damage you do overall by an insane amount. In the higher levels of Illithid powers, you get this really good power called Black Hole. It has a 18-meter range, which is massive. This power is broken, not because of the power itself, but because of the synergy it provides. Now imagine this. You cast Black Hole, pull all the enemies into a small group, cast Create Water on top of them, Quicken Spell, Lightning Bolt, plus Divinity Charge Wrath for max damage, and you'll do 96 damage to everyone in that group with a simple level 3 spell slot. Much more damage with higher slots. Are you starting to see all the possibilities for using this skill in tandem with others? The possibilities are numerous, and the consequences are minor. The game says you'll turn into a mind flayer, but you don't, even if you eat the astral tadpole. All that happens is you get a little, purple splotch on your face, and guess what? It looks rad as shit, so eat those tadpoles. Embrace the tentacle. At this point, you should be nearing level 5. And this is the perfect time to talk about Will, if you're using him. See, Will is a complicated case. You want to take 2 levels in Warlock, like I talked about earlier, 3 if you really want Pact of the Blade for some reason, but I've never found a good use for it since we're going to be Eldritch Blasting all day long. We take 2 levels in Fighter for Action Surge, and the rest of your levels go into Sorcerer. So, at level 5, if you're doing everything right, you should have gotten level 1 in Sorcerer, and when you get to level 3 in Sorcerer, you'll get access to Meta Magic Quicken Spell, which, with Action Surge combined, allows you to cast 3 spells in 1 round. That means potentially 3 casts of Eldritch Blast, and at max level, you'll be able to fire 9 blasts in 1 round. It's nuts, my boy. Make sure you pick Chromatic Orb and Shield as your level 1 spells. Why? Chromatic Orb does 1 of any of the available damage types in the game and creates a surface of that damage type. Lightning, meet water. Water, get iced. Oil, get flamed. And so on, you get the point. Shield is great for when someone hits you and you would rather them not do that. Since it's used as a reaction, Shield can be saved for emergencies and can get you out of really tight situations. Now I should probably go over the fight with the goblins in the courtyard because there are many ways to approach this fight, and if you don't approach it right, you'll probably die pretty quickly due to just how many long-ranged goblins are in one place. I like to enter through this side entrance, climb the ramparts, and rain death down on the enemy while my melee fighters clean up the scraps of resistance below. High ground makes it so enemies have to be much closer to you to hit you, which means you're naturally safer higher up, but it also provides missile attacks with a +2 bonus to hit, and that 10% hit chance can be the difference between hitting and missing. Use your Luck of the Realms ability and Divine Smite on the ogre that joins the fight, and he'll die in the first round. Also, we should talk about surfaces because this is where they become super helpful. Fog Cloud, for instance, can blind an enemy, but it also makes them obscured so you can't target them with attacks, which means there's a pro and a con to it. But it can also be used to force an enemy out of cover and possibly closer to your ranged or melee characters. It's great for denying enemies dominant positions. Chromatic Orb can be used to electrify water, set oil on fire, or freeze surfaces. So combo this with Create Water and watch the fun begin. Create an icy surface and watch as the enemy loses half its movement speed traversing difficult terrain, and watch them lose their entire turn when they fall directly on their ass. Grease is a fun surface too because it's a lot like ice in that it can make people slip and fall and acts as difficult terrain, but it can also be set on fire. So not only will the enemy be laying on their back, but they'll also be on fire as well. If you make good use of height and surfaces, finishing this fight shouldn't give you any trouble. After killing all those goblins, you should be, at this point, completely out of resources. So the best thing we can do is rest and relax for the big fight that's about to go down at the Grove. The issue is, I had a chicken quesadilla and like 3 chalupas, and that shit is not agreeing with me. So I go off to be alone because I got the squirts and I don't want to gas my companions.
Your own anus remains drenched no matter how much you wipe.
Chukil Gate Vlakith Mazathok. Can you feel it crawling through you?
Yeah, that's why I'm over here and not over there, stupid. Cause y'all can't handle what I'm brewing up.
Tendrils squirming in your chest, gripping your heart, piercing your belly.
Oh my god, yeah, it's called indigestion.
I see it in you. I feel it in me. We are lost. I will be quick with my blade. First you, then the others, then myself.
Your minds intertwine. You sense a touch of uncertainty, a touch of disgust.
Oh, yeah, that feeling of disgust that you're feeling. See, I can explain that. See, I've been farting all night. So all I need to do is take a shit and everything will be okay, I swear. Sorry, I can't help it. They come to me unbidden.
I cannot trust my own mind, so it seems I must trust yours. I will wait, but know this, I am watching. If the sickness does not pass come dawn, I will end us all.
You know what? With the way I feel, I'm not even gonna fight you on that. Sweet dreams, Lae'zel. I love you, baby. Later that night, I get another visitor. This time, it's in my dreams, a drow muscle mommy at that.
I came just in time. You are transforming.
Oh god, no, that means Lae'zel was right. Okay, look, we gotta go into panic mode here. We can't let her know. She can know nothing about this, okay? Because if she knows, then that means a chick was right. I can't have that shit. Hell hath no fury like a woman that's right. So this rather large lady tells us that she's managed to keep us from transforming into a hentai monster, and that she is, essentially, the only reason we've survived this long. She broke us out of our containment cell and kept us from being a splotch on the ground when we fell from the sky. She puts out her hand and suddenly I get an urge to hack her hand off. But this is a dream, and apparently she's in charge here, so like a control freak DM, she comes up with some bullshit reason why I can't do that. She proceeds to tell us that the parasite in our head is actually super cool and really pretty, and if we trust it, it'll buy us ice cream and take us to ball games and play catch with us in the backyard. She tells us not to push away the power that the tadpole holds, but to embrace it. Yeah, okay lady, that sounds like something an Illithid would say. She shows us Castle Greyskull and a bunch of ghost-looking dudes flying around, and then we wake up. The most important thing that happens in this game is at this moment, and you may accidentally miss it if you don't pay close attention.
The dog holds a well-chewed ball in his mouth.
All right. It's only fair that you enjoy it too.
That's right, you can pet the dog, and Larian went one step further. If you pick up the ball and then throw it, Scratch will run over and pick it up and bring it back. Call of Duty may have tried, but these are truly the most realistic dog physics in a game. 10 out of 10. Okay, so anyway, I've been trying to save my precious flower for my girl Minthara, but Lae'zel keeps saying shit like this to me?
I have a confession. I was too hasty to judge you.
Uh-oh.
I thought you witless, gutless, unimpressively bland.
I assume there's gonna be a compliment coming soon?
Now, well, you've earned my respect and more still. You've proven your wits. You are efficient and dominant, in and out of battle. You've proven your courage. I swear you would tear the horns off one dragon to plunge into another.
Hell yeah, that does sound pretty cool, actually. Like something a guy on a hair metal album cover might do while lightning strikes behind him and a volcano erupts. That shit sounds toy!
And you're hardly bland. Your scent alone is enough to make my neck sweat and my hairs stand on end.
Hold up. Wait a minute.
Now just look at the way this dude's face looks right now. And this is the look of a dude that knows shit about to break off a piece.
I want to taste you. Perhaps tonight, perhaps later, but I want it all the same. Do you?
I mean, with a few ground rules, no kissing. That's just out of the question. Andrew Tate says that kissing a woman is gay because it's like you're sucking every dick that she's ever sucked. And as appealing as that sounds, I don't want everybody knowing. You know what I mean? We keep this shit on the low. It also begs the question, do his girlfriends never brush their teeth? Ew!
Perhaps one night soon, I will come to your bunk and take what is mine.
Cool.
Until that night comes, I shall keep enjoying your scent.
If Lae'zel was a guy, she'd be the type of guy that smells random girl's hair on a bus. After a night of hot fucking and seeing my character's impressive balls, we're back on the road, hardly rested and smelling like alien vag. Now that we lost our virginity, it's time for the last task on our checklist. We need to fight with Minthara. So we blow the horn and that signals her and her army to come out of their hidey holes.
This is it. Everything turns on this.
Get that damn gate closed!
Zevlor gives one of his rousing speeches, and Minthara penetrates my mind against my will.
A pretty speech. It almost brings a tear to my eye.
Now slit his throat and open that gate. The Absolute wants all of them dead.
So, yeah, about that. See, I was trying to get in your pants, but I met this alien chick, and she likes to play rough. So, long story short, I'm helping the Grove guys now. Sorry, I hope you're not mad.
Sacred. It is filth. It will burn, and you will burn with it.
So the main thing that you want to know about this fight is that the Rebel Alliance has decided to bury a bunch of exploding barrels in the dirt. I did the brave thing earlier and threw down a barrel of oil in the middle to cover an even larger area and burning surfaces. The key is to wait for the enemy to stupidly walk dead ass into the middle of this stuff and rack up a multi-kill with a single fire arrow or alchemical fire. Best case scenario, we want these little suicide bomber assholes to walk right onto the oil first before we blow it up for the extra added AoE damage. Wait until the enemy has had its turn for maximum effect. But I got a little impatient, decided to blow the barrels a little earlier, and still managed to kill quite a few of them.
To death.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Let my name be known.
Now, Lae'zel has a lot of movement options, and up until now, we've just been sitting on our perch, shooting down at people, which works fine. but our melee people are hampered by their lack of ranged combat options. But Lae'zel can use Misty Step to outflank the enemy from behind and take out the biggest threats on the battlefield.
Clever girl.
Have to keep going.
As you get closer to that little cliff that Minthara is perched on, she'll climb down and come after you herself. This is when we use non-lethal attacks. First, you click on the passives tab here at the bottom of the skill bar. This will give you a list of all the passive effects that you can turn on and off, like great weapon fighting, cull the weak, and so on. See this icon with the hammer bonking a dude in the head? Turn this on and every attack, even magical attacks, will drain the enemy health but will stop short of killing them. If you do this right, Minthara will be knocked out, and you can still loot her body, and I mean, you can loot everything.
Cool. That's the last of them. Timora, smile on me. They're dead. We did it. Watching gods, you did it.
They name us outcasts, hellspawn, foul blood.
Well, to be fair, you guys do look like actual devils, you know what I mean?
That's racist!
Okay, Jesus, sorry.
So I call us by another name. We are survivors. We are family.
Family, family, family.
By all the watching gods, that's Halsin.
He'll have some hard words for Korga, I expect.
You took it upon yourself to undertake the Rite of Thorns. I ought to exile you from this place. Forever.
Not to be a tattletale, but she did also threaten a small child with a snake.
Instead, I shall listen to the explanation that you owe me.
I owe you nothing. Goblins swarmed us like roaches while you stumbled after the past. You chose to abandon us. I chose to protect us.
Silence! The rite has been ended. I will allow you to stay, but consider yourself a novice anew. You have forgotten the ways of the Druids, our place in the natural order. You shall learn it all once again, right here. Backslide, and nature's fury will crush you.
As you wish, Master Halsin.
And with that, every loose end on the top side has been tied up nicely. And the only thing left for us to do is... Party! But first, it appears as though our resident gay wizard is a tad bit hungry. And he wants a pair of our magic underwear to eat. So we give him the shittiest pair that we own and we watch as he... absorbs it?
It is a strange experience. Each time anew, like a lost soul is spelunking through the darkness that is me, only to be sacrificed on the dread altar of the heart.
What? Gale, we get it. You're smart, okay? Speak like a normal person for once.
Somehow the second artifact hasn't had the effect of the first. It's somewhat relieved the discomfort, but I fear my hunger hasn't quite...
Are you telling me that I gave you my favorite battle thong to eat and you're already hungry again? It's not Chinese food, Gale. It's clothing.
You do plenty for me, more than you realize. But this cannot be remedied. The magic isn't having the effect it should have. It's not like the last time, like a rainstorm that quells a forest fire. It merely drizzles. The embers still sizzle, the fire remains undefeated.
Holy shit, I think I just understood what you said for like the first time. All right, I'm just gonna step away and let you deal with the indigestion. Just let me know if you need any more of my frilly under things, okay? The party's hopping. Everyone whose ass we saved is here, eating our food and drinking our wine and staring at this strange symbol I drew in blood on the ground, which I never cleaned up for some reason. Asterion, however, He doesn't seem to be enjoying himself.
You know, I never pictured myself as a hero. Never thought I'd be the one they'd toast for saving so many lives. And now that I'm here... I hate it. This is awful.
Yeah, but think about all the goblin children we butchered along the way.
True. That was fun. Still, I would have liked more for my trouble than a pat on the head and vinegar for wine.
Oh, okay. I see where this is going. Sorry, Asterion, but Lae'zel is currently banging me, and I don't think she's the type to share, so bye now.
Sex, my dear.
Nope. Bye. See ya. Au revoir. Sayonara. Goodbye. The rest of the party is having a great time drinking shitty wine, but once again, Shadowheart is like, hey, you know, all that goblin killing got me thinking, me and you should bang one out. And I have to let her down, you know, like a gentleman, because I don't want Lae'zel slitting her throat in the night. Even Karlach is like, hey, I'm horny, let's have some fuck with each other. And I have to swat these people off me like flies. Like, come on, ladies, I'm not the only guy in camp. I mean, think about it. There's wait, bad example. There's Gale. Yeah, he's kind of insufferable. And I'm pretty sure he's sniffing around my crotch as well. Okay, there's Will. But, yeah, I guess he's kind of screwed up looking now, huh? What about Halsin? Huh? He's perfect. He's big, muscular, like a bear. Like a big gay bear. Wait a second. Am I like the least ugly guy in a bar at closing? What the hell? I thought I was like a magnet for women. It turns out I'm the leftovers in a fridge that don't have mold on them.
I'm certain a cure for you can be found at Moonrise Towers, but it's complicated. The journey specifically, it's extremely perilous, though it seems you're well accustomed to navigating danger.
Yeah, well, not by choice, mind you. I prefer my danger strapped to a table, if I'm being honest.
This curse shrouds everything in shadow. You will not find life, light, or anything natural there.
You mean Detroit?
Any who linger are twisted by the curse.
So, Detroit.
Twisted by the curse. They become shadow beings, tormented, dangerous souls.
Why does this guy keep talking about Detroit?
You could go overland, along the Risen Road or through the mountains. Easier at first, but you'll run into the shadow curse eventually. You could also go under. There is a tunnel somewhere in the ruined Temple of Selûne. It leads to Moonrise Towers through the Underdark.
Being that we're a drow, the logical place to go is the Underdark. We're familiar with it, our people are there, and anyone that isn't our people will be thoroughly afraid when they meet us. Though we will end up going to both places, the mountain pass can be put off until the second act when we're significantly stronger. So it's off to the Underdark. Now there's two ways to get there. Through the basement of the Goblin camp, or through the secret Zent smuggler cave in Walkeen's Rest. I'm opting for the Goblin camp entrance, but if you really want the EXP, you can opt to do both. Either are good ways, to be honest. While in the camp, it's important that we loot everything that got left behind, and it's then that we run into an impossible lock to pick.
I'll do challenge.
Hardly a challenge, he says, and then proceeds to break a lockpick off in the lock. Congrats, dumbass. Try again. Okay, what the hell's going on, Asterion? Are you on drugs?
What?
In order to get to the Underdark, we need to solve a puzzle. And I don't know how you're supposed to solve it without a visual guide, so here's the answer.
Oh, this goes very far down.
Make it look like that and the door will open.
What a thrill.
You exit the ladder sequence into a Selûnite outpost. Explore the place thoroughly, as you'll find quite a lot of loot in here, including some good stuff for your paladin like the Helmet of Smiting, which gives you temporary hit points every time you use one of your smites that applies a condition. It's great for giving your character sustain in case you lose your tank. There's also some notes and journals left behind that will give you some insight as to what is and was going on in this place before everyone up and died. Head over to the open window and jump out of it and head down this craggy rock face.
You better stop!
Spend much time in the Underdark?
No, obviously not. See, these little orange balls, they explode. And your characters don't actually seem to care that they explode, because if you let them, they'll walk right up to one and get themselves blown right off a cliff. In fact, they seem to be suicidal. So what you want to do is you want to target these things from a distance with your ranged attacks before you get anywhere near them, just to be safe. At some point in your travels, you'll run into a Roulette. It's a big lizard-looking thing that burrows under the ground, and if you don't kill it now, it's going to keep popping up on you, taking pot shots at you occasionally. Luckily, I'm a paladin.
Interest.
Infinium beam!
Well, that was pointless.
You triggered my trap card!
After you kill this annoying bastard, it's time to explore this place at length. You'll come across all kinds of stuff to kill, like a beholder, a couple of minotaurs, hook horrors, and so on. And eventually you'll come across this sword and a stone. Make sure you save before clicking on it, because it's a pretty decent sword for this early point in the game. If you find yourself wanting to have your character tank a little bit more, use it with a shield, but once you craft your +1 greatsword, you'll want to be using that instead, because once you get great weapon fighting and get that +10 to damage, you'll scrap one-handed weapons and never look back, trust me. Now it's time to move on towards the Myconid colony. These are a bunch of crazy fungal dudes that communicate by airborne sex juices and have a sort of hive mind thing going on. They'll see your drow dude and they will not be happy with you, because apparently a drow matching your description just came through here and stole a backpack, and they're gonna have to stop and frisk you. But of course, I didn't get any footage of it. Guy must have turned off his body cam.
You must be worried sick, but have no fear. I have a friend who may be able to assist. Omelium!
I hope this is important, Blurg. My Zirkwood samples need constant attention.
It is. This adventurer has an illithid tadpole inside his head, but he hasn't turned.
No ceremorphosis. That's impossible, but intriguing.
Hey, ain't you one of them brain eaters? I got an awkward question, but where are you getting food? Aren't these people just fungus now?
Your head will make a fine trophy for my queen.
Please hold. I understand your rage against my kin. My species has terrorized the Underdark for countless generations. But I assure you, I stand with the Society of Brilliance, not the colonies of my people.
Yeah, I get it. No need to explain. I'm kind of between homes myself right now. You know, the Lolf Drow didn't want me because I was a fan of Sisters of Mercy instead of Wumpscut, and the Seldarine Drow didn't like the kind of eyeshadow I use, so...
Fool! They infest your head and invade your dreams, and still you would parley.
I ask only that you refrain from violence. I respect that your opinion of my kind may be charged.
I think we need to look at that a little bit, because charged isn't the word that I would use. You see, you raised Gith to be your slaves and your cattle. You brainwash people, and then you eat their brains. Not hard to see why she's pissed. Charged is putting it lightly, my dude. They made a deal with Tiamat just so that they could kill you guys better and more efficiently with dragons. I'd say they hate your fucking guts. So this handsome looking devil offers us a deal. We don't mount his head on a pike, and in exchange he'll brew us up some brain enema that will flush that little bugger out of our head. But first, he's gonna need some herbs. We can't get to those herbs right now. Well, technically we could, but it's a pain in the ass and I would rather leave that until the end. For now, he needs to probe the squirmy guy in our brain.
As the Meloan's mind pierces yours, the tadpole pulses with power. It feels 10 times its size. Alive, awake, almost smug.
This is most unusual. The incubation period should be complete, as should your transformation. But the lava is infused with strange magic. It appears to be in some form of stasis.
Essentially what he's saying is that there's a magical thingy-majiggy that's protecting us, keeping us from transforming into one of him. If that stasis is removed, well, so is our personhood, and we then become a Cthulhu monster in an instant. Which sounds pretty painful, like when an alien bursts out of your chest, but instead it's like your whole body that explodes like Bruce Banner's shirts when he turns into the Hulk. So if he removes the tadpole, we die. If we leave the tadpole in, we'll eventually die. So either way, we die. So we opt to die later instead of sooner. Next, we need to talk to the head fungus of this grotto, the Sovereign.
Flesh talker, I show you a memory. Watch and listen.
A violent vision grips you. Dwergar, dark dwarves chopping myconid remains.
I sense your resolve. You will find Dwergar invaders near Lake's Edge. Cleanse the rot. Destroy them.
Now this guy will give us some pretty helpful items and some really helpful buffs if we kill those dwarves, so you'll want to do this for sure. But before we do, we need to go talk to this fat little mushroom dude and convince him to come along and help us with glorious murder. You can find him in the Myconid Valley. While you have him, you have access to a pretty unique ability which allows you to raise from the dead any corpse of any creature in the Underdark. So, head up to the dead Roulette and raise it from the dead. Then marvel at how impossible it is to get that creature from one end of the map to the other. The damn thing cannot walk down most paths, so it'll get hung up on the smallest obstacles and end up having to jump everywhere. But this thing is so worth having around. Just look at the damage this damn thing does. When it can actually reach the enemy, that is. If the thing dies on you, just raise up a hook hard to do the job after him. See, they have a great ability to pounce on the enemy and knock them prone, then follow up with a devastating attack that takes advantage of the enemy being prone. While you're in this area fighting the hook hars, don't forget to go to the top branch of this tree and harvest the susser bark from it. Then, once you get a plain old greatsword, head over to the forge we found underneath the ruined village from the early parts of the game. You can forge a magical greatsword +1 with this bark that silences enemies on hit. It's a great early game weapon that will help us out with some of the fights that we're going to be getting into soon. To deal with the dwarves, we want to approach the fight from the top floor and ambush the guy inside this house. We take him out first, and then the other dwarves will start appearing. If you have Will with you, you can take advantage of the height in this place and the fall damage that results from throwing people from great heights.
What?
Once the dwarves are dead, Glut will be all mask off with you and tell you that he wants to kill the other fungus man and take over his territory. But a deal's a deal, my man.
It was not meant to be.
Return to the fungal boys and turn in the quest. He'll congratulate you, give you some worthless title, and a buff which is super good while active, and then he'll give you another quest. He wants you to hunt down an absolute cultist, a drow mage named Nere. Well, Mushroom Man, we were probably going to do that anyway, for funsies, so I'll get you his head, or a head, maybe a dwarf's. Either way, I'm going to get you some head.
Wait a minute!
You'll also get another reward. You'll open up a door, but before you go inside, make sure you quick save, especially before picking up the book that's inside there.
The cover proudly announces this book to be Flumph Mating Rituals.
Hot.
This text contends exactly the opposite, with far too vivid details to match. The scrutiny proves too much. The lurid text melts away before your eyes. An illusion.
Disappointed!
What remains are simple instructions written in a spare hand. The secret to forging adamantine.
Now, I don't know about you, but I thought that forging adamantine meant taking the adamantine chunks that you found throughout the Underdark and smelting it down to make adamantine shit. After all, it's right in the fucking name, but it isn't. You have to find mithril ore, and that makes adamantine stuff. So if you're getting all excited like, oh shit, I can make 2 sets of adamantine stuff and 2 mithril. Nope. You only get 2 things, so don't go wasting the shit experimenting around. You're gonna want the armor. Weapons made with adamantine get the ability to ignore resistance, which is nice and all, but they also get Diamond's Bane, which says that when the weapon hits an object, it's an auto crit, which sounds awesome until you realize what they mean by object. They mean a non-living object. Lame as shit. The weapons are dog shit. You'll replace them the moment you get into Act 2, so don't waste the precious resources. Make armor. It's by far the best, and it'll damn near last you to the end of the game. Splint armor has an 18 in AC. It reduces all incoming damage by 2, which by itself would be amazing, but it also applies reeling to the enemy for 3 rounds when they do damage to you. Reeling takes 1 point away from the enemy attack roll for each round remaining. So that means the first round it's applied, the enemy has a -3 to hit. That's 15%. The shield and medium armor versions only apply reeling for 2 turns. And last I checked, using the shield with armor is currently bugged and does some weird shit, so I don't recommend it. So what this means is, even though the splint armor has an 18 in AC, when somebody hits you, your effective AC goes up to 21 because of reeling. Then to top it all off, you can no longer be hit with critical hits. I have seen the best armors in the game, and it was still hard to give this up because of everything that this armor does for you, but especially the crit immunity. It's amazing. Highly recommend. How do you even forge this stuff? Well, we need to get back to the town where we fought the dwarves and steal their ship. And as we sail off into the darkness, someone spots us out there. Another boat full of Dwergar.
We aren't expecting more of you. Where's Gek?
Oh, right, Gek. You know, he told me to give you a message. I suggest killing these dwarves, not because it's the best option, but because it's fun and you get experience points for it and a cool weapon in a chest on their boat. As we exit the dark waters into the light of civilization ahead, we find more dwarves and a possible fight should we not be able to talk our way out of this predicament. When we come ashore, we'll be accosted by more of these little buggers.
What do we got here? Dead hoon walking, seems like. Got any reason I shouldn't sever your head and toss it to the Rothe?
Well, I'm older than you. I can beat you up.
That's so.
You feel the slightest of stirrings in your head. The Dwergar is not infected, yet your minds resonate.
I'll be. You ain't shitting. Felt the tingle.
Yeah, I seem to have that effect on women. And men. And squid. Little bitch tries to extort me, I threaten her, and she tries to play it off like she was just joking. Then we come across this little guy with an eye patch, and he starts bragging about how he captured and tortured a bunch of drow, and he says this, staring dead at me, another drow. But I got something for that ass. See, he likes spiders, but the spiders aren't too fond of him, so I sprinkle some socialist propaganda flyers on their little gathering and start an uprising.
I speak true, brothers. You know it in your hearts. You know it in your very souls.
We need no Lolth, no Spider Queen. Father Mermuth is the head of Clan Lur. He hatched us, raised us, feeds us.
What care we for his business here? He keeps us small, keeps us contained. We should be with the Spider Queen, revered, adored.
Yeah, that's right. Rise up. Seize the means of production!
You've read that harming spiders is illegal among Lolth's faithful, and often punishable by death.
Father Mermuth is our past. Lolth is our future.
These spiders are loyal to the local Dwergar. In the event of a fight, they will join the fray against you, with slavering enthusiasm.
My brothers and sisters in Lolth, we mustn't fight against one another. All is united. All is Spider. Also, I heard that Mermath guy telling people you were all disgusting, degenerate perverts.
Xanta, is it so?
This and so much more. In Lolth's hairy embrace, all is possible.
Her embrace. We're ready. We follow.
Yes. Now, brothers, our new dawn awaits.
So if you do a little investigating, you'll find some Spurfneblin, or deep gnomes, getting pushed around by the slightly taller dwarves who are just standing around refusing to do any work because the union told them not to lift a finger until management agrees to a raise and better insurance benefits, but management is currently stuck inside a cave. If we go over to where Nere is currently buried, a timer will start, which means if we rest one too many times, Nere will be killed by the fumes in the cave, which sounds like a great idea, until you realize he's worth some experience points, so we're totally going to avoid doing any of that, and instead, we need to explore thoroughly. There'll be some totally harmless chests around this corner and down a cliff face, and these chests are totally normal chests, nothing really special about them. You can tell by all the skeletons laying around that they're just normal chests, and they aren't breathing or anything like that. You know, this isn't Dark Souls after all. Then a little further in is a deep growth, a really old one, and if you speak with animals, he'll actually lore dump on you, and it's pretty cool. I actually recommend you talk to every animal you come across because some of them have really interesting things to say. Then near the back of this wall, you'll see some angry tiny men whipping the shit out of some Roth, and if you talk to them, you can convince them to fight the dwarves with you. You will not suffer any consequences for killing the dwarves, so do it. It's both fun and rewarding. Then once they're taken care of, you can convince the deep Roth to do the job they were enslaved to do. And in doing so, they clear a path to some really cool stuff further into the temple. The walkway here is trapped pretty good, so make sure Asterion takes the lead, and if he's having trouble spotting traps, hit him with guidance and that should make your lives a little easier. You only need to disarm the plates on the ground and only up to a certain point before the wall opens up and you're able to drop down to explore the rest of the side area. There are these moving platforms here that you have to position to get to other areas, but it normally requires that you leave someone behind to do it. But if you don't feel like doing that, you can use Mage Hand and then go into turn-based mode to hit the levers. I can't emphasize how important it is to explore this place thoroughly. No matter what you do not want to move on to the forge part of this level and start that activity until you have both pieces of mithril ore. Near the back of this place is a lava beast that will heal itself whenever it touches the lava or is hit with fire damage. So what you do is hit it with an arrow to lure it over to solid ground and ambush it with all 4 of your characters. But be sure not to use Eldritch Blast in a direction that will knock him off the platform, or you might accidentally end up healing it instead of killing it. Across the lava is a lockbox, and inside is an amulet that forces you to make saving throws to resist being cursed with laughter. This amulet is pretty good to give to any character that lacks good AoE damage because of the shatter spell that it gives you, with a caveat. Every time you use it, you have to pass a wisdom saving throw to not lose a turn. This amulet is part of a quest that you'll complete in Act 3, so make sure you bring it with you. After this, you'll have a fight with a metric shit ton of mephits, and this should be when you find the second vein of ore that you need. Once you have both mithril ores, head over to the big disc. This is the platform that acts as a forge for adamantine. You'll need to insert the mold into the coffin looking thing and insert the ore into the cylinder in the middle. Then lower the platform and start the lava flow, which will release a massive iron golem who is basically immune to every form of damage except bludgeoning, which he is vulnerable to. You could use blunt weapons and wear him down, but there's a better option. What you do is you split your team up and put each one of them at opposite points on the platform. Use your most agile character, either Asterion or Lae'zel, to lure the golem around the platform. What we want is for the golem to get the superheated condition by walking into the lava first. Once he's superheated, we want to lure him to the cylinder in the middle of the platform and bring the hammer down on his head for massive damage. This means you need someone at the lever for the hammer or someone near the valve to bring the lava in once it dissipates. When you have hit the golem with an attack, the golem turns its attention to you and starts to pursue you. So you have to regain the golem's attention every turn, or it will try to attack another random party member. If you use Lae'zel, you can use her gift jump ability to traverse from one side of the platform to the other without dying in the process. And you can just keep doing this until the golem ends its turn on or near the hammer. But that can be easier said than done sometimes.
Yay!
The enemy doesn't even need to be on the hammer for it to work, it just needs to end its turn near it. After this, the difficulty ramps up, because this is when some mephits spawn in, and these guys can be a real pain in the ass because they have heat metal, and as any D&D player knows full well, heat metal is OP. So the moment that these things spawn in, you want to turn your attention on them, because they will wear you down and eventually wipe you if you ignore them. But make sure you kill them from a distance or prepare to get a facial.
Sorry.
And with that, you're now able to forge your armor and take the head of the golem, which will act as a helmet that also protects you from criticals while looking rad as hell. So at this point, you can now have up to 3 of your party members rocking gear that protects them from the most dangerous RNG damage in the game. We are now a force to be reckoned with. After this fight, take a nap, because the fight with Nere is going to be a bitch and a half. While at camp, we get a visitor. A cute little visitor with saucer eyes and a cute little murderous beak.
You recognize the feathered creature. It's the owlbear cub you rescued.
Rescued might be a little generous. Orphaned, maybe. I'd agree with that. Okay, that just gave me diabetes.
The cub's eyes lock onto the food in your hand. The creature gulps the food down. It seems he hasn't eaten in some time.
Yeah, well, I imagine eating his mom filled him up for a while.
When I see—
Jesus, Will, jump scare much? You have horns, dude. You can't be sneaking up behind people like that.
A creature as sweet as that. I hardly missed the gate at all.
See, you idiot, you scared him away. You know what, next time wear a bell.
It'll be back. Be on your guard, or risk getting a peck.
I think you mean pecker, because y'all are some of the horniest people I've ever met. Now, there's a couple of ways that we can proceed. My favorite is to start killing off the dwarves in the dock area to get that sweet EXP, loot, and to free the little gnomey boy with the foul mouth. And once you've taken care of that, head over to the two dwarves at the top of the stairs off by themselves.
Seen her run with a barrel under her arm. Just a small one, but enough to blow the drow out. Someone should grab it. Slaves are never gonna manage with pickaxes.
Can't go chasing maybes. The sergeants are ticket in.
Oh, would you look at that, Kerr? Someone's having a listen.
It's not my fault that your friend, who was dead ass looking right at me, didn't say anything.
True soul, no less. What do you think, Kerr? Should we take Nere's debt off him?
Well, now, the way I see it, you guys want to get paid, I want to kill things, I think we can work together.
Could be you're right. Something's different with you. In that case, want to earn some gold?
What you do is you make a deal with this guy that you'll help him get Nere out of the cave, and when there's fighting to be done, they'll come to aid us. Help us kill the sergeant and Nere, and all we gotta do is what we were already gonna do, which is kill a whole bunch of little people. That sounds like fun! Now there's a couple of things you need to know about this fight. One of them is that Nere is a tough little bastard, and because he's a spellcaster, he needs to die quickly. Thankfully, if you have Luck of the Far Realms up, you should be able to hit him with a level 2 smite with crit damage and followed up with another level 2 smite, and that should take care of him. But once he's dead, you still have this little shit to worry about, and he's a real problem because he has the ability to turn your own people against you. Couple of ways to deal with this. First, you can use Bless to increase everyone's saving throws, or if you already forged that weapon I was talking about, use it on him to silence him. Either way, if you hit Nere or this dwarf, one of them is going to get silenced, and so long as you focus fire on them, you'll be relatively safe. Tasha's Hideous Laughter also works really well to take out certain casters out of the game for a few rounds. And because Will should now have access to meta magic, a twin cast will allow you to cast Hideous Laughter on 2 targets, which doubles its usefulness. Remember, it's not always about damage. Sometimes it's better to turn a powerful enemy into a sheep than it is to try and kill them first. Control the big bad, kill his minions, and suddenly, he's not so big and bad anymore, and he passes save throw turn 1. Now the only thing left to do is cut off Nere's head and deliver it to the Sovereign, and for doing this, he does a little dance for us, offers us another item that will buff our persuasion, but I honestly never use it. There's far better amulets in Act 1, especially if you explore everything thoroughly. The only thing left to do in this act is the tower that we've been putting off, and we've been putting it off for a good reason. This place is the biggest pain in the ass in the game by far. The biggest reason this place sucks is the laser turrets. These things must be avoided at all times because they will kill you, and kill you quickly. The second reason, and this is probably the biggest reason, you have to do the whole thing from turn-based mode, which takes an age and a half to do. Now, you can skip this place entirely, but you would be skipping the ring that Omelium gives you, and the Staff of Arcane Blessings, which is a very good staff for Gale. I'm going to give you a quick rundown on this place. Use Asterion because he has the ability to use dash 3 times in 1 round. This will make it so much easier to get through this place. Make sure he has scrolls of Featherfall or the ability to Misty Step because we'll need it later. Go through the side way to the steps, don't approach from the front, and make sure you don't end your turn here. It looks like cover, but I've been shot by the turrets through this rock before. Always end your turn in obvious cover to recover your dash charges. Once you get to the top, end your turn next to the window, not in front of it, next to it, and jump through it on your next turn. See this elevator here in the middle? It acts as a place for you to end your turn between exploring. Run to it, end your turn, and repeat this process as you explore each side area. At some point, you'll come to an area with mushrooms growing out of the side of the building. Use them to climb down to the floor below and repeat the elevator trick and explore and loot everything, even the junk in the chest that turns out to be good items in disguise. Then, head outside, use Featherfall or Misty Step to get to the ground level. Once down there, grab the glowing Susser Bloom and use it to power the elevator on the bottom floor. Take the elevator up to the top floor and quick save immediately. If you read all of the books and journals on the way up here, you'll know how to respond to the robots. And if you do this right, they'll give you some pretty sweet items, including the Ring of Light, which you can then use in the basement level to open up a secret door. You could also try killing them as well to see what you get. Maybe it's something good, maybe it's garbage. Do it and find out. Now that we have the mushrooms that Omelium needed, it's time to head back and claim our reward. Once you've turned in your mission, it's finally time to end this act and move on to the Shadowed Lands. But before we can do that, we meet an old man who just so happens to be looking for Gale. And if you played D&D and read some of the books, you might already know who this guy is. He's Elminster, a very powerful mage, though you wouldn't know that by talking to him.
Who there, wanderer? Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
Oh, there, wanderer.
May I inquire if perchance you retain among your traveling companions a man who adheres to the given name of Gale?
Jesus, Elminster, you could have just said, "Is Gale with you?" Your mouth needs a copy editor.
Ever a man of leisure. Would it pain you greatly to assist me along the little voyage I intend to undertake to this aforementioned camp?
Holy shit, windbag, yes!
And I would confirm it to be so. Please, after you. My thanks for your excellent guidance. And yonder I spy the object of my pursuit.
Elminster?
The very same, Gale. And a fair bit miffed he is, too, finding himself forced to expose his best pair of boots to so many miles of country road on your behalf.
I don't understand. How so on my behalf?
I was bid to spare neither time nor my own self to find you. She sent me, Gale. You know of whom I speak.
But why?
Oh, yeah. Did I mention that in between the moments where he's hitting on me, Gale managed to fuck a god? Yeah, this guy. Right here. He had unprotected, raw dog sex with Mystra, the god of magic, and apparently she broke up with him, but he claims it was a totally mutual thing and it was probably for the best.
Out with it, Elminster. Please.
Young man, has your sojourn away from Waterdeep washed away your decorum as well as your patience? Nigh a 10-day I've gone without honest fare, worthy of the name, drank naught but what the sky entitled my thirst. Why, some bread, cheese, and a cup of wine would appear unto me a feast. Surely you won't begrudge me a mite of rest and repast before I get out with it?
Yeah, Gale, stop being so rude.
Oh, for the love of...
2 hours later.
That is to say...
2 hours later.
You know where you went wrong, Gale. No, we needn't dwell on that here and now. But even so, you're to be given a chance of redemption.
Mystra would consider forgiveness.
She would consider what she considers to be forgiveness. Mystra is aware of the misadventures that have befallen you both. She knows of your strife with the Absolute, that most insidious of evils.
2 hours later.
The orb.
Precisely.
Oh yeah, embarrassing. I forgot to talk about that too. You know, Gale has such a forgettable face, it just slipped my mind.
Thank you for that most considerate reminder.
So, Mystra died at some point, and this death was the cause of the sundering of the weave, the thing that makes magic happen. And this event is what caused the writers at Dungeons & Dragons to have a temporary lapse of judgment and write 4th edition. If that weren't bad enough, when Mystra reclaimed her power, there was one little bit of it that she didn't reclaim. And Gale, this dumbass, thought she didn't reclaim it because she couldn't. So he took it upon himself to get that piece back. Let's ignore, for the moment, the idea that this guy thought he could do something that a god couldn't. He manages to get this piece of the weave back, and he accidentally absorbs it. And now, this thing is a time bomb in his chest that he has to feed magic items to, or he'll explode. Not just explode, but take out an entire city's worth of space with it. Mystra was, understandably, upset with him and closed up shop. No more Gussie for Gale.
Mystra has granted me the power to stop the clock, as it were, on the orb's rush to overpower you. Instead, you will be able to unleash its lethal combustion at will.
Interesting. This could be help or hindrance. We shall have to see.
You must find the heart of the Absolute, whatever that may be, and use yourself as the catalyst that will burn it from this world.
Yeah, you know, that sounds great and all, but won't him doing that kill everyone around him, including me? And I guess him too? So aren't you asking us to kill ourselves, essentially?
He is not. But it seems that Mystra is.
Okay, Gale, I gotta ask, man, what exactly did you do to piss Mystra off so badly that she not only wants you to kill yourself, but all your friends at the same time? Couldn't she just act like a normal ex-girlfriend and just key your car or some shit?
F. Or is it an E? Is it even a letter? Damn language is this?
So I've never seen Astarion without his shirt on before. I swear, I don't like, strip him naked and zoom in on his crotch or anything like that. But now that he's showing off those sweet cum gutters, we can see that he's got these sweet scars on his back and he's trying to read them in the most inefficient way possible. So I offer to draw them out in the dirt, and it turns out that his previous master, Cazador, a full-fledged big boy vampire, carved some satanic symbols in his back, but unfortunately neither I or Astarion can read them. But we do know someone who could. That devil guy we met earlier. Perhaps we'll meet him again and uncover the secrets behind this strange scar, fix our barbarian's engine so it doesn't burn her boyfriends alive, and maybe visit the Gith Yankee stronghold and get to know our Gith girlfriend a little better. Perhaps we'll even discover the secret behind who Shadowheart is, and discover the only thing that makes her interesting. What mysteries will we find in the shadows? Tune in for Act 2, where we finally fight a god and recruit the Dark Paladin Princess Minthara. Bye-bye now!
The voice of the Absolute is strong here, and getting stronger. I don't know how much longer I can resist it. But it's good to see you're making progress. You took an unexpected route here. You did a brave thing, saving those people in the grove. Not everyone would have helped.
The hurt runs deeper than she's willing to show you.
Yes. Yes, I am. It just doesn't stop. We are being bombarded by waves of telepathic energy. Wave after wave with hardly a breath between them. I almost dare not rest. Each wave a set of orders to the infected. The order for your transformation has been given many times already. I just hope my powers last long enough to see this through.
I won't have to worry about the sun, at least.
This is true darkness. The shadow curse. It doesn't seem to affect me like it does others. Not as badly, at least. Do you know what this means? I must be blessed. Lady Shah is protecting me where others are left to face her wrath. She loves me. She must do.